in on claims of maladministration and corruption within the police service on what would have been the start of the Commission of Inquiry into Interference today. The indefinite suspension of the Commission's work is believed to be linked to procurement challenges. Ghana says public institutions need to be urgently restored to their original work.
The fights that you see in the police has got nothing to about protecting you. They're not fighting about protecting you. They're not fighting about protecting South Africa. It's about money. It's access to contracts. If the fight was about who delivers, who gets to deliver, then it will be better.
Cape Town Mayor Jordan Hill-Lewis says an eviction process will start today to remove about 160 foreign nationals from 2 sites in the city. The occupants were initially relocated to Wingfield and Paint City during the COVID-19 pandemic after being evicted from the CBD. Hill-Lewis says many of the occupants have moved from the sites, but the remaining occupants refuse to be relocated and they are demanding to be moved to Europe or Canada. The mayor says this demand can never be lawfully met.
It's important to note this is the start of the eviction process. Essentially kicks off the court process. So this does not mean the eviction will happen on Monday, but we've kicked off formally the court hearing process.
And the suspects in the fatal shooting of prominent Ukrainian politician Andrei Puribai has been arrested. The 54-year-old parliamentarian was killed by an attacker posing as a courier in the western city of Lviv on Saturday. The Ukrainian Interior Minister says the suspect has been detained and he is under police guard. Puribai rose to prominence during Ukraine's European and mass protests, which advocated closure ties with the EU and brought down pro-Russian former President Viktor Yanukovych in 2014. A fine day in store for Gauteng. The temperatures are at lows of 7 and 12 degrees, peaking at highs between 31 and 32.
And in the traffic, we still have got that accident. It's really a major one on the M1 North. It happened right near Glenhove Road. It's causing heavy traffic volumes coming out of, at this particular moment, Empire Road. So please be on the lookout there. While traveling in Eldorado Park, we've got delays on the N12 East between Klipspruit Valley Road and the Golden Highway. There's also queuing traffic in Boksburg along the N17 West. This is between Carnival City and the R21, and that's due to roadworks.
The top story this hour, Gauteng Education MEC Matume Chilwane will visit Aura Primary School, where children have stopped learning.
At the heart of global conversations shaping our future, Africa's voice is more important than ever. As proud lead sponsor of the B20, the Standard Bank Group is honored to showcase the continent's growth, partnerships, and potential on the world stage. Because driving Africa's growth isn't just our ambition, it's our purpose. Tune in every Monday from 3 p.m. for the Standard Bank B20 in brief for key insights and updates around the B20. Standard Bank is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider.
Ready, jet, go! 2 fully paid trips to the Abu Dhabi Motor Racing Spectacular must be won in the thrilling new JetX competition exclusive to Hollywood Bets. An unforgettable experience awaits on one of the fastest circuits on the planet, with the world's top drivers battling for supremacy. To stand a chance to win, bet 10 Rand or more on JetX. 1 million Rand in cash is also up for grabs. Hollywood Bets. Fly higher with our multiplier.
T's and C's apply. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counselling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710.
Psst! Have you heard? This Monday, 1 September, something big is happening at Dis-Chem. For one day only, Benefit card holders get 25% off fragrances. Yes, your favorite brands. For him, for her, for you. But don't tell everyone. Or do. Just don't miss out. Shop in-store or online this Monday at Dis-Chem. Better beauty starts here.
702.
WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Good morning, guys. Speaking of cash, you know, the other day I went to a certain retail store to return clothes that I had bought because, you know, they didn't fit or whatever the case is. And when I returned that stuff, they gave me cash. It was like over 500 Rand. And I was just like, what am I gonna do with
That's
500
how I would
Rand
feel.
in cash? And I still have that money lying around, and I'm just like nobody, a lot of places that you go are very much cashless. And yeah, I found that to be kind of insane. Thank you,
I'm
Bonnie and Foy.
honestly,
Hi, Clement. Hope you're good and well. In my world, cash is king. Technology has disappointed me to this day. I don't fully trust it. I always keep cash as a backup, especially traveling. Yeah, cash is king. When you're in trouble, cash is king. Technology will disappoint you. And living in the township, cash is the way. For the guys in the babs and all of that, yeah. But other people in the township, cash becomes the way. It's easier that way. And it makes life easy because you go to places they tell you you cannot tap or swipe less than 50 rand, less than 30 bucks. So it's a bit of a challenge. So cash makes things easier, especially caucus.
Morning 702 team. Clement and your friends there. Wow, tapping at church. Oh my God. I can imagine. I'm a Samsung, my iPhone. Wow, Whiz. Wow. Digital. Yeah, ne?
that's what happens now in this digital world. Hey, you go to church, and if you don't have cash, they'll bring you a speed point. It's so fascinating. I don't remember the last time, Cindy Poluta, when I travel. Remember there was a time when you travel, you used to go and arrange like local currency.
Good morning, Clement. Let me blow your mind a little bit about a currency.
Yeah.
If you traveled to Europe in the early 2000s, you used to have different currencies. So if you did something like a Contiki tour, which drove you through 12 countries,
Yeah.
you had to have 12 different currencies before they moved over to the euro.
Yeah.
But I recently traveled and I bought foreign currency because I was like, oh, I'm going to need cash. I never once needed cash. And none of this, oh, you have to spend more than this much to tap your card. None of that. None of that. That eventually I just was like, oh, now I've got this foreign currency. Let me just use it. I'm not to say that they don't accept cash, but no way. But the other day also, I think I was at the hairdresser and I was like, oh no, my cell phone battery's flat. How am I going to pay for this? Because I didn't have my wallet on me.
Yeah.
So I have to drive home and come back because my cell phone battery's gone flat.
They
I
trust
can't
you
pay
for that?
Yeah. Thank goodness.
Okay, yeah, and those are the downsides, of course. If your battery is low or your phone switches off, that gets really tricky. But I don't even remember where my wallet is because normally I use that. Like, I just put like my license and my whatever I need either in my bag or in the car, license particularly. But normally everything is just on your phone.
What I do love is because we don't carry cash, many of us don't carry cash as a society anymore. I do love that when you get to the garage, there's certain garages that the petrol attendants have a scan to pay around their necks. So you can open like your FNB app, for example, for me, and you can scan the QR code they wear it on a lanyard, and then you can tip them. Because for a long time you were like, oh, sorry, I've got no cash, I can't tip
that's
you.
perfect.
They're like, no, it's cool, here you go, scan to pay. And it comes up all their details and you just tip.
Oh, perfect.
EWN Sport.
Here's what else is perfect. The Women's Rugby World Cup. In
Yes.
the quarterfinals, we are through for the first time ever.
First time ever. In fact, when we beat Brazil last week, we were so excited because they had never won at a World Cup. They hadn't won at a World Cup since 2010. So it had been 15 years since they had got any kind of win at a World Cup. And now the South African women are through to the quarterfinals, the Rugby World Cup, for the first time ever. They beat Italy 29-24. Player of the match, Libby Janse van Rensburg.
This was absolutely amazing. Shout out to the team. We came out, we had a job. We said we were going to be direct. This is what South Africa was about. People feel us when we're on the field, and we appreciate all the support.
They play France on Sunday in their last group game. In Currie Cup action, the Bulls won't make the playoffs. They lost the Lions by 39 points. Griquas, Boland Cavaliers and Cheetahs occupy the top three spots. The Lions in fourth with 1 round to go. Big news overnight. Liverpool have confirmed the signing of Alexander Isak from Newcastle in a record British deal. He has his medical today. Liverpool's perfect start to the season continues. They beat Arsenal 1-0 yesterday. Szoboszlai with the goal in the 83rd minute.
To be honest, this shot I didn't practice in the last few weeks because we were shooting from closer, and if we are closer I shoot different way, but I had to take a risk and shoot it a little bit harder because I knew Raya likes to jump behind the wall, and of course he's an unbelievable goalkeeper.
Manchester City lost 2-1 to Brighton. West Ham with a surprise 3-0 over Nottingham Forest. Villa lost to Palace 3-0. Back home in the Betway Premiership, Orlando Pirates beat Chippa 3-0 with goals from Maswangani, Hotto and Moremi. Polokwane finished 1-0 with Galant. Former Pirates coach Jose Rivera has been fired by Egyptian side Al Ahly as he's only won one game from several played so far. In golf, Tristan Lawrence won the European Masters in Switzerland for a second time, overcoming a bad start to shoot a final round 66. He finished on 22 under, 2 ahead of the field. The US Open tennis, the 9th seed Rybakina is out. Krejcikova saved 8 match points to beat Townsend, while Pegula and Sabalenka cruised. On the men's side, Djokovic and Fritz got straight sets wins and will meet each other in the quarterfinals. And in Formula One, Piastri won the Dutch Grand Prix after Norris retired with an oil leak. Piastri, with his 7th win of the season, finished ahead of Verstappen, and Hadjar gave Racing Bull a first ever podium finish.
I was so happy for him.
I love it when, you see, sport is fun when somebody else wins.
Yeah. That's true. I was disappointed with Lando. Well, not with him, but the car. It was so sad.
Yeah.
It was going to be a 1 and 2 again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cindy Polluter, Eyewitness News Sport.
The brainy kids of the Whiz Quiz
On 702.
Hello, Uncle Clement. My name is Musa. I'm 10 years old. What I want to be when I grow up is a professional soccer player, and I go to Kuro Sagewood.
Ah, wonderful. I can't wait to play with you, Musa.
EWN Traffic.
15 minutes before 7 o'clock. Amoramela, there's a crash on the M1 North.
That's correct, Clement, in the Halton area, right near Glenhove Road. It's causing massive queues coming out of Empire Road. Please be on the lookout there. About a 15-minute hold-up altogether. If you are traveling in Eldorado Park, delays on the N12 East between Klipspruit Valley Road and the Golden Highway. There's also queuing traffic on the N17 West. In fact, bumper-to-bumper traffic. This is between the Carnival City entrance and the R21, and that's due to the long-term roadworks taking place along this route. Please be on the lookout there, and if you want to try and avoid these delays, maybe try using the N12 West through areas like Edenville as well as Germiston. If you were traveling in the city of Tshwane along the R80 East, we've got some delays towards Eskyam-Pahlele exit, and that's due to peak time delays. I'll have more updates for you. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
The Checkers Hyper Price Drop is here. Save up to 40% on deals like pork value packs for only $56.99 per kilo, save 15%. Cross and Blackwell mayonnaise 750 grams, Orgo tomato sauce 700 ml, or Mrs. Ball's chutney 470 grams. Any 3 for 99 rand, save 32 rand. House brand 2-ply white toilet rolls 24-pack, 2 for 249 rand, save 111 rand. Deals valid until this Sunday, only at Checkers Hyper.
702.
Coming up at 7:15, the big interview.
So you thought you were building a business? In this economy? Good luck. But day by day, somehow it grew. You became payroll, procurement, PR, and pressure valve. You kept going when the freezer didn't freeze, the bucket didn't budge, and the bank balance barely blinked. What's that saying again? What doesn't kill your business makes it stronger? Or at least it should be that. So you thought you were building a business. You weren't. It was building you. Because this isn't just what you do anymore. It's who you are. And you don't trust just anybody to protect it. Chat to your broker about Old Mutual Insure Business Insurance. Protect what built you. Old Mutual Insure Limited is a licensed FSC and non-life insurer.
For those 2 a.m. checkouts or the late night shifts. For the last minute orders and the beginning of the month rush. For the 9 to 5 that becomes a 5 to 9. You don't clock out, and neither should your payments. Pay fast by network, always open for the dreamers, the doers, for you. From e-commerce to in-store payments and business funding, we have you covered. Sign up today at payfast.io.
Coming up in the next hour, what's the question? And it's brought to you by Outsurance. Up to 3,000 rand in cash up for grabs. All you need to do is send us an answer based on anything that piqued your interest on the show, and you could win 1,000 rand. Simply WhatsApp your name and answer to 072-702-1702. And of course, a little later, someone else will ask the question to win 2,000 rand. Remember, you stand a better chance of being selected to give us today's answer if you have SMS'd out to Outsurance and got yourself a quote. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on car insurance.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
Morning, everyone. Morning, 702 Landers. So, Mina, I'm fully digital at this point. So bad that I lost my card in early 2023 and I never went back to the bank to fix it. It becomes such a struggle when Vele you have to tip the uncles there by the parking lot, or maybe at school they want 20 rand for something. It becomes such a struggle. But then, Mina, fully 100% digital. Sibo from Pretoria.
Yeah, a lot of people have gone full digital. I'm also taking your WhatsApps on what we're talking about today around Taylor Swift, because it was on this day in 2012 that Taylor Swift's hit single "We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together" got to the top of the Billboard charts. And I've been asking you because that song actually is about a breakup that she went through, and she decided, I'm never going back to this person. We're never going to be back together ever again. And I've been asking, how did your life change after your breakup? Are there any significant life changes that happened right after your breakup or your divorce? Please share your thoughts with us.
Who is the whizziest of them all?
It's the Whiz Quiz on 702.
Ten minutes before 7 o'clock, time for the Whiz Quiz now. And today we're playing with Musa. How are you doing, Musa? You are 10 years old, I imagine. Hi. Hello, Musa.
I'm doing good.
I'm doing good myself. Why do you want to be a professional football player when you grow up?
Because my dad also played soccer.
Oh yeah? Was he good at it?
Yes.
Are you better than him?
I don't know yet.
I'm sure you will be if you practice more, Musa. Are you ready to play the Whiz Quiz?
Yes.
All right, KG, start the clock. Spell the word totally.
Tottally.
Incorrect. Which is the first month of South Africa's winter?
June.
Correct. True or false? A green mamba is not venomous.
Pardon?
True or false? A green mamba is not venomous. Is that true or false?
There's no green mamba.
Complete the title of the animated movie Minions: The Rise of Who?
Gru.
Correct. What is the name of the world's largest ocean?
The Mediterranean.
Pacific Ocean.
Indian Ocean.
True or false? A cricket pitch is shorter than an Olympic swimming pool.
False.
True. Does the word somber mean bright or gloomy?
Pardon?
Does the word somber mean bright or gloomy?
Bright.
Incorrect. Gloomy would have been the correct answer there. A green mamba is not venomous. True or false? False is in fact the correct answer. How many have you got? 1, 2 correct answers, Musa. A tough one for you there, but you've got 2 correct answers. But well paid, well tried. Thank you for playing with us. Musa is a professional football player. Now, you also have a chance to play the Whiz Quiz. All you have to do, if you are between the ages of 10 and 13 years old, to enter the Whiz Quiz for your chance to win 10,000 Rand, is to simply send us a WhatsApp on 072 702 1702.
The brainy kids of the Whiz Quiz
On 702. You're with Clement Maniatella.
702. Let's walk the talk.
8 minutes before 7 o'clock. Now, why did the Social Development Department spend 1 million Rand on a trip to New York by the country's top social worker, Sizakele Makangwe? Now, the Sunday Times reported yesterday that a week into her new job, Makangwe, who is the Deputy Director General for Welfare Services at the Social Development Department, blew more than 1 million Rand on a trip to New York at taxpayers' expense, staying at the priciest hotels for more than 2 weeks and spending almost 200,000 Rand on a flight. It was reported that she also spent about 419,000 Rand on transfers. She was part of a delegation that attended the 69th session of the United Nations Commission on the Status of Women. Let us bring in now someone who can help share with us, Dr. Harlem Klute, who is a research fellow, joining us now on the line. Dr. Klute, thank you so much for making time for us. Good morning.
Good morning, Clayton, and good morning to the listeners of 702.
So let's start with, these trips, of course, some of them you would argue it's important that there is a South African delegation that goes to represent South Africa. Knowledge sharing is important, but you've got to ask the question, are we getting value for money?
No, that is exactly that. Like I said in the article from the first, it's important that South Africa, that we do attend, that we attend conferences. I know the value of attending conferences in terms of the networks that you build and the opportunity to benchmark as well about, where the world is going and how do we position ourselves. What remains unanswered is whether we received value for money. And I think from the article, the department is also not forthcoming in terms of what was the value of it all. So ordinary South Africans look at the article like this, and says, but is this now really necessary? People question the size of the delegation, although, like I said, in principle, I'm not against these type of activities, attending conferences, presenting peer-reviewed abstracts and at these conferences, but it's the cost that is very worrying.
Yeah, the 1 million rand on the Deputy Director General for Welfare Services, that's quite a lot of money. How many delegates, did they send? Because I do remember a time when the Department of International Relations advised departments attending international events to keep their delegations at a minimum because the fiscus is just under severe pressure.
No, exactly that. Now, it looks like from the article as well, is that it was unnecessarily huge. That they could have maybe looked at there were different delegations from South Africa that went. And so people question the size, obviously. People question what was the role of each delegate there as well. That is also not clear. And so sometimes to the irritation of public officials, the media ask questions and then people don't necessarily answer. So unless a department is forthcoming, we will be left wondering, whether the question is, was there return on investment and whether there was value for money.
Mm-hmm. In 2011, the Sunday Times reported that there were about 49 government officials who attended the same event, and some of them actually failed to even attend many of the sessions at this particular summit. And I wonder if things have changed now. So when you send a large delegation like we have, do they even attend all the summits? And when they come back, Dr. Klute, are you aware of any report that gets presented so that we're able to maybe even quantify and look at the investment at sending this delegation, what they have achieved there, and how it's benefiting us back home?
Look at a conference like this. You're sometimes asked to present, or you are asked, like you said, you attend these sessions. But I've attended many of these sessions as well, conferences. It's an opportunity to network and to learn. But a lot of delegates, and this is not just unique to government officials. A lot of delegates, use this as a holiday as well. Either you present and then you're out and you do your own thing, and you see this as an opportunity. And so the expenses, what calls into question as well is that accommodation. It would appear from the article that the delegates chose the most expensive hotels. Mm-hmm. And, flying business class, for example. And those are the things that worry. And so almost like, so it's really up to the person leading that delegation to make sure that the people are deployed. If, for example, 4 of the university goes, we would say, you go attend that session, you attend that session. And when we come back, we almost like share knowledge around what we've experienced and how do we take our department further in terms of what we've learned and the new networks that you've gathered. So those are important leadership things. Whoever's leading such a delegation should make sure that when we come back, that there's an opportunity to critique, to learn, to benchmark, to say how do we take our department forward with its new knowledge that we've now gained.
Absolutely, yeah. Dr. Harlem Klute, Research Fellow at the University of the Free State Center for Gender and Africa Studies. Thank you for speaking to us. We did request an interview with the Department of Social Development because we wanted to understand more why R1 million was just spent on this one individual, and they had agreed to come on only to tell us later that they must still have hold meetings before they can speak to us. So if they are available sometime this week, we'll bring them on the show. It's a minute now before 7 o'clock.
7:02.
Coming up, the big interview.
Why did the Police Commissioner Fani Masemola remove the over 120 dockets from the suspended Deputy Commissioner Shadrack Sibiya's office back to the Political Killings Task Team? Was that decision wrong? Because the Minister of Police, the interim one, Firoz Kachalia, and President Cyril Ramaphosa seem to be concerned about that decision that he's taken. We'll hear from the presidency why the president is concerned about this. Vincent Magwenya joining us after the news.
This is EWN.
The day has finally come. The famous Bree Street reopens and the SACP shows Gwede Mantashe the door. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. The city of Johannesburg is set to reopen Lilian Ngoyi's streets this morning, more than 2 years after a massive gas explosion damaged the route. One person died and 48 people were injured when the major corridor, formerly known as Bree Street, split in the middle during peak traffic on the 20th of July in 2023. Since then, businesses and daily commute have been affected, with the metro missing several important deadlines to fix the street. The repair work took 26 months, which is double the initially projected time frame. Alfara Mushwana reports.
These are the loud sounds of construction machinery that have disturbed residents on Lilian Ngoyi Street for the past 2 years. For those living in high-rise buildings along the route, the sight of a torn-up road and busy construction crews became part of their daily view. And while the city of Johannesburg is upbeat it won't miss its target to reopen the road today, this is what the DA's Gauteng leader, Soli Msimanga, previously had to say when he visited the site nearly 2 months ago.
By August, if anything is completed here, I will give you my left kidney. It's not going to happen by September. It's a month. This is more than a month's job that needs to be done here.
Once the city reopens the street, phase 2 of the project will kick off, focusing on enhancing the visual appeal of Lilian Ngoyi Street. Alfa Ramshwana, Eyewitness News.
On Johannesburg's East Rand, some families of people who died when a gas truck exploded in Boksburg are hoping a 65 million rand lawsuit against the entities they deem responsible will ensure a similar incident never happens again. On Christmas Eve 2022, a truck carrying about 6,000 litres of highly flammable gas was trapped under a low-lying bridge on Hospital Road. It exploded underneath the railway bridge, leaving 41 people dead and many others injured. Some families of the deceased, along with the survivors of the tragedy, have filed a civil lawsuit against the trucking company, the labour broker of the truck driver, and the city of Ekurhuleni over claims of negligence. Tabiso Gomba has more.
It's been about 3 years since the Boksburg explosion, and there has been no arrest, prosecutions, or even fines for the entities involved in the tragedy. Geraldo Geduld lost both his son and wife in the explosion. Geduld says on some days he's re-traumatized by viral images on social media of his son with his skin severely burnt.
For me, obviously, with my background being an engineer, I like to see, how can I say, structures put in place to prevent something similar happening. It was a bit unnecessary to lose so many lives.
Geduld has since left Boksburg and moved back to the Eastern Cape to be closer with his remaining family. Tabiso Koba, Eyewitness News.
The SACP says there's no bad blood between the organisation and Gwede Mantashe after unceremoniously removing him from its central committee. The party says it was forced to remove Mantashe for his poor attendance record, claiming he has missed too many meetings. This comes amid heightened tensions over the SACP's decision to contest elections alone, putting it on a collision course with its alliance partner, the ANC. SACP's first Deputy General Secretary, Madala Masuku addressed Mantashe's removal at a media briefing yesterday.
But one thing that actually led to that, the key one, is the fact that he wasn't sending apologies, even after being persuaded. I mean, the Central Committee was left without no option but to say, we do understand, yes, the challenges that you're having, but one of the basic things of members of the Communist parties are taught is to respect collectives where they are.
And at least 12 people have been killed in Sudan after an army drone strike hit a clinic in the west of the country, which is under paramilitary control. A war monitoring group says the attack hit the Yashfin clinic in Nyala, the capital of South Darfur, over the weekend. The death toll is expected to rise as preliminary reports indicate that dozens of civilians and medical staff may have been killed. The Nyala city is the last major stronghold in the vast west Darfur region, still under army control. There has been no immediate comment from the Sudanese army. Gold is trading at $3,373.05 an ounce. The rand is at 17.64 to the dollar, 23.86 to the pound, 20.66 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $67.22 a barrel.
Traffic remains heavily backed up on the M1 North between Empire Road and Glenhove Road due to that major accident scene, and is causing about a 30-minute hold-up at this moment. People are also just using Collard Drive, Glenhove Road, as a result to try and move away from the scene. While travelling in Boksburg, bumper-to-bumper delays along the N17 West between Carnival City and the R21 due to roadworks.
In your sports, Springbok women are through to the Rugby World Cup quarterfinals for the first time ever. They beat Italy. Liverpool complete the signing of Isak from Newcastle. The Reds got a 1-0 win over Arsenal yesterday. Orlando Pirates easily beat Chipper 3-0. And in golf, Tristan Lawrence wins the European Masters for a second time.
A fine day in store for Gauteng. Johannesburg is at 12 degrees, peaking at 32. Pretoria 12 as well, and a high of 33, Vereeniging 8 and 32 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour: the city of Joburg is set to reopen Lilian Ngoyi Street this morning, more than 2 years after a massive gas explosion damaged the route.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
702 on 92.7 and 106 FM.
Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
And on DSTV channel 856.
Six minutes after 7 o'clock, Dumelang, welcome to the second hour of 702 Breakfast. I'm Clement Manyetela in for Bongani this week, and with the usual team here in studio, Amu on your traffic, KG on the ones and twos, Mateo will be bringing you business just before 7:30. Bapelile and Siam Tanda are taking your calls on 011-883-0702. Is it enough for the Department of Social Development to tell us that, well, whatever this trip to New York has cost was actually approved by Treasury? Because there was a time when there were incredible amounts of money that government used on these international trips. And in fact, at some point, spouses of ministers used to tag along, and the ministerial handbook allowed for it. So as a result, then Treasury would approve it. Because I do think that it's an easy scapegoat. Why do we have instances where our ministers can stay at the most lavish hotels and book the most expensive flights as if they're going on holiday? I mean, the story that was in the Sunday Times yesterday about the social development's top social worker, with the department spending 1 million rand on her trip to New York. The Sunday Times reported that just a week into her job, Sizakele Magangwe, who's the Deputy Director General for Welfare Services at the Social Development Department, blew more than 1 million rand on a trip to New York at taxpayers' expense, staying at the priciest hotels for more than 2 weeks and spending almost 200,000 rand on her flight. And when you check how much flights were, a business flight at the time on United Airlines, It was around 96, 97,000 rand. So how did the department end up paying almost 200,000 rand on a flight? Because even when you look at the minister's flight, over 60 or 170,000 rand. They're staying at hotels. According to the report, they stayed at St. Regis Hotel. The rooms there range from 33,000 rand a night to just over 100,000 rand a night. And when you're asking the questions, they tell you, well, Treasury approved it. Well, it's part of what government prescripts dictate or demand. But why are those prescripts still like that? The ministerial handbook was ridiculous to expect that, spouses of the ministers can come with them on these international trips and they spend up, that ends up spending, in fact, it ends up costing us as taxpayers more. So change that then. But we can't have a situation where one person, R1 million to go to New York to attend a conference on women, which is important because knowledge sharing is important, but what's the value for money? Do they come back and tell us what they've learned and how that's going to benefit South Africa through the departments that they hold? It's 10 minutes after 7 o'clock.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
Some of the things that you need to know about this morning. We told you about Bree Street and how the wait is over because Johannesburg CBD, that street is set to open in the CBD today after a major revamp. The street was severely damaged by an underground gas explosion back in 2023. But thanks to this nearly 200 million rand investment, it's been restored to its former glory. In fact, the Mayor Dada Morero will be out in Joburg telling us more about that and officially unveiling that revamped road. The South African Social Security Agency will from today require mandatory biometric enrollment for all new social grant applications in an effort to enhance security and also combat crime. The Gauteng Department of Health has announced new daily visiting hours at Chris Hani Baragwanath Academic Hospital effective today. Visiting times will now run from 1 until 3 p.m., including weekends, replacing the previous 2 to 4 p.m. schedule. Have you seen that video of the Polish tennis player Kamil Majak? So he recently met a young fan after a video went viral showing a man seemingly snatching a boy's hat during the US Open. Majak shared 2 clips on his official Instagram account in which the one taken from the child in the viral footage. The video reportedly from the Thursday match shows him interacting with fans and offering his own cap to a child, only for a man beside the boy to grab it before he could. So the boy is then seen pleading to get it back. The clip has gone viral on social media, with many criticizing that old man, identified by multiple media outlets as a Polish CEO, in fact. And then Zendaya Coleman celebrates her 29th birthday today. Born on this day back in 1996, the actress and musician has risen to prominence in Hollywood with acclaimed performances, most notably in HBO's Euphoria. Did you watch Euphoria, Amaramela? Oh, she was incredible on Euphoria. And Dune. I know you and I share an interest in art films.
Yes.
Dune.
And I haven't watched Dune, and you've been asking me to watch
I have
it.
to check it out.
Maybe today I'll definitely check it out.
It's incredible. On this day in 1984, Tina Turner's iconic single, What's Love Got to Do With It, claimed the #1 spot on the Billboard Hot 100 in the US.
You must understand, the touch of your hand makes my pulse react. That it's only the thrill of boy meeting girl, opposites attract. It's physical, only logical. You must try to ignore that it means more than that. Oh, what's love got to do
Oh man, you know which other song went to top the Billboard's charts? It's a song by Taylor Swift. Back in 2012, her hit single, We're Never Ever Getting Back Together. It soared to the top of the Billboard charts, and it's a song really about her breakup with her ex-partner. And I've been asking you this morning, how did your life change after breakup?
Good morning, Clement. Good morning, 702. After my divorce, I got a complete glow up. Went and got myself 3 tattoos. I expressed myself more in the hairstyles that I have, different colors, something out of the ordinary, funky, and I'm more free. I express myself better. Type of from Protea.
Oh, okay. What did you do? Did you dye your hair? Did you become a gym rat? Did you gain some heartbreak weight, as they call it? Did you end up getting a tattoo? Maybe some piercing of sorts to mark new beginnings? How did your life change after your divorce or a breakup? Share your thoughts and your reflections and experiences with us.
702.
Coming up, the big interview.
EWN Traffic.
15 minutes after 7 o'clock, this Eyewitness Traffic is brought to you by Outrance in partnership with 702. Amoramela, M1 North. What's happening there?
Well, we still have got that major accident scene, Clement. It's right near Glenhove Road. Delays coming out of Empire Road. As a result, we've got about a 30-minute hold-up. So if you're traveling through the Braamfontein area, Parktown areas this morning, traffic is heavily backed up along this route. And this is due to that accident scene as well as peak time delays along this route. Traveling in the southerly direction, the scene will affect you as well coming out of Greyston Drive. If you're traveling in Boksburg, bumper-to-bumper traffic on the N17 West between Carnival City and the R21, and that's due to roadworks. There's also roadworks taking place along the Golden Highway, causing heavy traffic volumes. This is between the N1 and the N12 exits, and that's due to the long-term roadworks taking place along this route. Eldorado Park, we've got an accident. This one is along the N12 East, right after Clip Rivier Drive. It's causing delays. Please be on the lookout. We'll have more updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
20 years ago, you were driving to your first job, and 20 years ago, the Outrance pointsmen were on the roads, easing traffic congestion. Whether you are an Outrance client or not, we've all been getting something out. From Johannesburg, Tshwane, and Paarl to Stellenbosch, show the Outrance pointsmen some love this month and celebrate this 20th anniversary using hashtag pointsmenlove. Outrance really means it when they say you always get something out. In proud partnership with 702, Outrance is a licensed insured and FSP.
702.
The big interview.
17 minutes after 7 o'clock. Was the National Police Commissioner Fani Masemola wrong to remove the over 120 dockets from his suspended Deputy Commissioner Shadrack Sibiya's office back to the Political Killings Task Team? That's the question. These are the dockets that were initially investigated by the Political Killings Task Team, which was disbanded in December on instruction of the Police Minister Senzo Mchunu. And after that disbandment, you'll remember the dockets were moved from the task team to the Deputy Commissioner Shadrack Sibiya's office. Now, the concern from the President is that the decision by the National Commissioner to move the dockets back to the task team could undermine the work of the Commission of Inquiry into Corruption and Political Interference in the criminal justice system. Because remember, part of the inquiry's job is to look into the work of the task team and the decision to disband it, and whether the task team and what it did was successful, or was it a law unto itself and mismanaged funds as previously claimed. So now moving these dockets when the inquiry is still yet to be investigated may be seen as undermining the process. But is it really? Because the police must still continue with their work even while the inquiry does its work. Let's bring in Presidency spokesperson now, Vincent Magwenya. Vincent, thank you for making time for us. Good morning.
Good morning, Clement, and good morning to your listeners.
What exactly is the President concerned about regarding this decision by the National Commissioner?
Well, Clement, as you kind of alluded in your intro, the President feels that it's important that the leadership of SAPS, working together with the Minister, safeguards the integrity of the work of the Madlanga Commission. That includes avoiding tinkering with areas or issues that are going to be subject of that investigation. The issue of the KZN Political Killings Task Team, alongside with the removal of the docket, featured quite prominently in the allegations that were made by Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi. And it's an issue that certainly the Commission will look into, and therefore it is critical that those kinds of issues are not interfered with in any shape or form, and that the Commission is given the opportunity to look into them.
Okay, and I hear that, but the work of the police also needs to continue. So how do you draw the balance? If there are dockets out there that are sitting idle in the Deputy Commissioner's office, who is now suspended, and some of those dockets had instructions to arrest the suspects as claimed by General Mkhwanazi, then surely you can't wait for an inquiry to finish its job before those arrests are made. I mean, the inquiry can still do its work while the police also continue to do theirs.
Precisely, Clement, you're correct. That is why, in the terms of reference, there is a provision that all urgent matters that must be referred for either for further criminal investigation or prosecution, those matters will be referred to the relevant authorities immediately once the Commission has looked into them. And so we could have had a scenario, for example, where in their submissions, the SAPS leadership will have said this is priority. They will have made their submissions around the issue, and the Commission, on weighing the information and the evidence on the matter, will have then immediately, okay, this matter must be referred to the relevant authorities for further criminal investigation or prosecution. And so you do not have a case where there are delays that will be occasioned by the Commission seeking to complete its work before matters are referred back to police for further criminal investigation.
And I do remember the National Police Commissioner saying that pictures of these dockets have been taken, so that evidence will still get to the inquiry to indicate what these dockets look like at the time that they were in the Deputy Police Commissioner's office before they were sent back to the task team. So I suppose what I'm trying to figure out is that sufficient, what the commissioner says, so that you now safeguard also the integrity of this commission of inquiry?
Well, Clement, the ideal scenario here will have been all of that being done with those files being handed to the Commission. Should the Commission request to look at them? The issue of now you're going to have allegations and counter allegations on the state of those dockets. And so it would have been ideal that the Commission should have been allowed to just deal with the matter before anything is done. That's really the nub of it. Now you're going to have this public back and forth and debate as to what has happened, what was done, whereas had this process been given to the Commission to preside over it, that would have given assurance to all stakeholders concerned that the integrity of the information and the substance contained in those dockets remains protected if the Commission was given the opportunity to do that.
This reminds me of the other decision that the National Police Commissioner also took to suspend his deputy Shadrach Sibia ahead of the inquiry, which of course is well within his powers to do so. But the president, when he announced the inquiry, said the commission must be the one that decides who must be suspended in the SAPS pending the outcome of the inquiry, to avoid a situation where people are now going to be fighting each other through suspensions. And the question at the time was, didn't the National Commissioner himself interfere with the work of the commission, especially given that the president gave the inquiry that latitude to decide who must be suspended, but the commissioner went ahead of that inquiry?
Well, two things there, Clement. From General Mkhwanya's allegations, it sounded as if there are more parties or individuals of concern within SAPS. That is what the commission will look into. Secondly, indeed, General Masemola was within his administrative powers to effect that suspension. I suppose where we are now, the commission will give a view on that, including the allegations that have been leveled against Lieutenant General Sibiya.
Aren't you worried about how this may be seen? Some may see it as interference from the president. The questions now the president is asking around the 121 dockets, because he's effectively raising displeasure about also an operational matter here, which is not where he should play.
Indeed, except that this is no ordinary operational matter. This is no ordinary administrative issue. Clement, we have to appreciate that the president was handed a problem in the form of numerous allegations concerning not only SAPS but the entire criminal justice system. And the only mechanism that he had at his disposal to get to the bottom of these issues via a competent, independent authority was to set up a commission. He's taken a lot of criticism for doing so, notwithstanding that is something that's provided for within the Constitution. It would have been absurd for the president to just act on the basis of allegations coming from one person and taking those allegations to be the gospel truth. And so now that he's set up that commission, all he's asking is, let's give the commission the space and the bit of time that it's been given to do its work and get to the bottom of these issues. We shouldn't have a case where matters that are within the scope of this commission are now being dealt with and corrective measures are being taken. Then the question will have been, why did it take so long for those corrective measures to be taken? Why are they being taken now? And so he's not interfering with the work of the police or the administrative powers of General Masemola. All he's saying is, do not begin to undermine the work of the commission or even raise suspicion that the work of the commission is being interfered with by touching and tinkering with areas that are already under the scope of the commission's investigation.
Yeah, and of course, this is a critical time in our country. South Africans are concerned about their safety when top cops are busy fighting each other in court. Minister Firoz Kachalia, I think, was meant to stabilize things when he came in, but it seems he doesn't enjoy a collegial relationship with the National Commissioner, and that doesn't help the situation. I think he has since requested the National Commissioner to furnish him with a detailed report on the task team. The Commissioner has not done so, which is why the Minister released a statement on Friday. Do they even have a collegial professional working relationship?
Well, whether they have it or they don't, Clement, the expectation from the president is that they must have it. It's not a luxury. It's not an option either of them have not to have a collegial relationship. It is important that they are both in their respective offices with a mandate to serve the public, not with any scope for self-interest. And so the president is going to be insistent that they do find it in themselves to have that collegial relationship where reports are expected to be delivered. Those reports must be delivered. And where the minister has to understand the administrative scope of the National Commissioner, he must do so. At the end of the day, they both there to serve the public. They both there to fulfill a constitutional mandate, and they're not there for their own self-interest.
Yeah, Vincent Magwenya, thank you for making time for us. He is the spokesperson for the president. It's 28 after 7.
EWN Traffic.
This Eyewitness News Traffic is brought to you by Outsurance in partnership with 702. Amo?
Well, Clement, we've got an accident in El Dorado Park on the N12 East, right after Klipspruit Valley Road. It's causing heavy delays. This is just as you come out of Abu Bakr Drive while traveling on the N12 West towards Protea Glen. More delays approaching the R558. That's due to faulty traffic lights. I'll have more updates. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
You are the poster child, the biggest saver we've ever had.
I decided that I would contact Outsurance and let them work out what they could do for me.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, big saving. 2,794 Rand a month.
That's over 33,000 Rand a year.
And it was the easiest switch ever. Real people helping real people get real deals.
Go to outsurance.co.za now for a 10-minute quote that could save you thousands.
What does you always get something out mean to you, Lorette?
Outsurance made it possible for us to live our dream to travel more with the money in our pocket that we save.
Let me know, what is it?
725. It was unbelievable. My husband, he sits there on the chair and he's just nodding his head and say, yes, yes, yes. This is really not just an advertisement. This is really real.
Go to outsurance.co.za now for a 10-minute quote that could save you thousands. Licensed insurance FSP, TCs and information online.
EWN Business.
Mutao, how are the IDC results looking?
Well, the Industrial Development Corporation says profits were down 96% for the full year to 329 million rand. The IDC recorded a 4 billion rand in debt write-offs, with more than 20% of loans now non-performing. The funding institution has a mandate to help South Africa industrialize and create jobs. It disbursed most funds to the mining and agricultural sectors. The IDC gave distressed businesses some 2.2 billion rand over the past year, helping to save 16,000 jobs. This was, however, lower than the 24,000 job target for the 2024-2025 financial year.
AMSA is planning to shut down its long steel business.
Yeah, struggling steel giant ArcelorMittal SA has informed employees that attempts to save its long steel business have failed, with 3,500 workers now set to lose their jobs. According to Business Day, the firm sent out a memo to employees on Friday where AMSA CEO Kobus Fester said the group would wind down its long steel business at the end of September. Its long steel businesses in Vereeniging and Newcastle have been bleeding cash, with the entire group now being unprofitable. The company has been in lengthy talks with the Department of Trade and Industry and Competition, as well as the Industrial Development Corporation, to find ways to save its operations. The IDC says no decision has been made in relation to further support for ArcelorMittal South Africa. You'll remember that earlier this year they gave them more than 2 billion rand to plug losses and continue operations.
The markets?
Well, the rand at 17 rand 64 against the US dollar, now clawing back some gains after being flat this morning at 20 rand 65 against the euro and at 23 rand 82 cents against the British pound. Price of gold at $3,477 an ounce, while platinum is up close to 1% at $1,376. Brent crude at $67.24 a barrel. More business after 8.
7:32, time for the latest in Eyewitness News. Sfiso, it's been, about 2 years now since the Usindiso building fire. How are the survivors doing?
Well, Clement, the survivors of the blaze say they are still waiting for justice. Yesterday marked 2 years, or a 2-year anniversary, since the devastating blaze gutted the hijacked building in Johannesburg's Marshall Town. Whilst Thembiso Mdlalose is currently on trial for murder, attempted murder and arson, some survivors believe the wheels of justice are turning too slow. Thando Ngcobo reports.
Many of the victims who survived the blaze say the government has abandoned them and the promises that were made have not been fulfilled. Survivor Sihle Dube says life after the incident has been difficult.
I'm now paying rent in another building. The building is not in a good state, but I'm staying there.
A commission of inquiry into the devastating fire found the city of Johannesburg liable for what it says was an avoidable tragedy.
This building now, we heard that mayor wants to demolish and build an administrative offices here instead of following on what the commission of inquiry stated.
The survivors also want a memorial site to commemorate the lives lost. Thando Ngcobo. Eyewitness News.
Lobby group Not In My Name is set to lead a peaceful demonstration at the Prince Wolf School for the Blind in Pretoria today, following allegations that a 14-year-old pupil was sexually assaulted by a teacher. The alleged attack only came to light after the child's father noticed a sharp drop in her academic performance and took the matter up with the school. The pupil then reportedly revealed that she no longer felt safe at the school because of the alleged abuse. Not In My Name says it is outraged by what it calls a serious failure by the school's management to protect children. Spokesperson Themba Masango says a criminal case has been opened at the Pretoria police station.
We call upon the principal and the management of Prince Wolf School to provide their full and unconditional cooperation. Then there needs to be support for the victim. We demand that the Department of Education and the school provide immediate, ongoing professional and psychological support for the victim and her family to aid her healing.
In the Western Cape, activists and their opponents are set to face off in court this week when it hears legal arguments for a ruling on whether sex work should be decriminalized. The case, lodged by the Sex Workers Education and Advocacy Task Force, challenges the criminalization of sex work as unconstitutional in a long-running bid to recognize the sex industry. The NPA issued a moratorium on the prosecution of sex workers while the case is being heard. Carlo Peterson reports.
Sweet spokesperson Megan Lessing says the illicit sex industry could bring in a potential tax revenue of 8 billion rands if decriminalized. Lessing says sex workers often become victims of violence and are exposed to health risks due to the industry being unregulated.
There's research that the government has done in terms of what sex workers experience, the level of violence that they experience, both from community in terms of stigma, often physical violence, the physical and sexual violence they experience, and then also the vulnerability, in terms of health.
Lessing says the decriminalization of sex work is already part of government policy and the Justice Department has opted not to oppose the case. Carlo Peterson, Eyewitness News.
In the U.S., a judge has temporarily blocked an attempt by the Trump administration to deport dozens of unaccompanied Guatemalan children back to their home country. District Court Judge Sparkle Sukanan's order is in response to reports that children had been put onto planes and were about to be sent to Guatemala, where lawyers argued they would be at risk of abuse and persecution. The children arrived in the U.S. alone and are in government custody while their immigration claims are assessed. Guatemala's President Bernardo Arevalo and lawyers for the U.S. Justice Department said the children were not being deported but rather repatriated so they could be reunited with their families. A fine day in store for Gauteng. The temperatures are at lows of 7 and 12 degrees, peaking at highs between 31 and 32.
And in the traffic, we've got an accident in El Dorado Park. It's on the N12 East, right near the Klip Spruit Valley Road. It's causing heavy delays coming out of Abu Bakr Drive. Abu Bakr in itself, it's heavily backed up coming out of the Malaysia area. And if you are traveling along the Mike 1 North bumper-to-bumper traffic, in fact, traffic is at a standstill between Boyson's Road and the Glenhove Road due to that major accident.
The top story this hour, 2 years after the tragic Usindiso building fire, which claimed 76 lives, the survivors of the blaze say they are still waiting for justice.
Every year, more than 4,000 children lose their lives to a blood cancer or blood disorder. For over 30 years, Sunflower Day has provided hope to patients in their fight against blood cancers and blood disorders. This September, help celebrate Sunflower Month by making a monetary donation towards recruiting more potential lifesavers for patients and giving them a second chance at life. Visit www.dkms-africa.org to ensure patients get their fighting chance.
Your business is a force that moves the economy forward, but the right banking partner can take you even further. A partner like Lula, South Africa's first business-only banking suite, where you get real-time support, a relationship banker who cares for more than your spreadsheets and access to funding in as little as 24 hours. Experience business-class banking and funding today at lula.co.za, powered by Access Bank. T's and C's apply.
Ever driven 6 hours to get to a place that should have taken 1? Skip the detour with Sem Air, a proudly South African full-service airline, connecting you to 16 top destinations, whether it be for business or a break. Baggage included. Onboard snacks, always. Comfort and service, count on it. Because when your time matters, your airline should too. Book now at semair.co.za. SemAir, more from your airline. Are you looking for the best savings on spectacles? At Specsavers, enjoy 1,500 Rand off when you get tested at South Africa's trusted and most established optical group. Get 1,500 Rand off all frames in store, or use your 1,500 Rand off on our leading lens enhancements, such as drive light lenses that reduce artificial glare whilst driving. Book online or call your nearest store today. Affordable eye care, Specsavers. T's and C's apply.
702.
WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Hi, Clement. Joel from Sunnyside in Pretoria. Clement, no. Your guest, no. If Minister Mkhunu didn't instruct for the withdrawal of this list, the work would have been done by now to arrest those people. This is not part of the commission of inquiry. Let the police do their job, because if this was not withdrawn, people will be arrested by now. Asomblief. Ningadlali nathi.
Hey Clement, good morning. I am just disappointed with the way that the presidency is now trying to doing exactly what he said they're not doing, is to interfere with the work of the police officials in the country. The commission yesterday made it very clear, even on SABC, that they are not ready to start. So how long should prosecution be on hold, waiting for a commission that is being scuppered deliberately for that matter, because the ICT systems are not in place within the commission? So are we going to wait until November before this thing gets going? No, this is unacceptable. The presidency must just keep quiet and allow Masamela to do his job and the police to do his job. They must stay out of it.
Good morning, Clement. I don't know what the president is worried about with regards to his 18 dockets. You can gain access anytime. I mean, we have digital means. They can make copies of those dockets. Now it's starting to make me think if he's also involved somehow in those things, because I mean, it's a no-brainer. Just make copies of those dockets. That's it. And let the police continue with their work. What's in those files?
Yeah, look, for me, I'm interested in where do you draw the line here? Because I do understand that the TUS team is at the center of the allegations made by General Mkhwanazi. The allegations that this inquiry that's supposed to begin has been tasked with investigating. But then should the investigations in those dockets be halted because there is an inquiry? And doesn't that compromise the efforts to prosecute criminals? I mean, justice is getting delayed the more these dockets sit and gather dust. So where do you draw the line? Yes, you don't want to interfere with the work of the inquiry because they will be investigating these dockets. But also, you don't want them to just sit there, especially if some of the dockets actually had instructions to arrest suspects, because that's what General Mkhwanazi said.
702.
What's the question?
What's the question is brought to you by Outrance. It's your chance to win up to 3,000 Rand in cash. First, 1,000 Rand for the answer, and then a little later, 2,000 Rand if you can give us the question. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance. Today's answer comes from Soli in Katlehong. Soli, how are you doing?
Hi, Clement. How are you doing?
I'm all right, man. Please give us today's answer.
Today's answer, Clement, is 2012.
Okay, 2012 is today's answer. Have you recently requested a quote from Outrance?
I'm a member, Clement.
Well, guess what, Soli? Congratulations to you. You have won yourself 1,000 Rand in cash, all thanks to Outrance and 702. If you know what's the question, you can be the 7th caller right now on 011-883-0702 and tell us what is the question. T's and C's on primemediaplus.com.
EWN Sport.
This EWN Sport is brought to you by RMB Corporate Banking. Ready, set, cash flow. Cindy Paluta, good morning.
Good morning, Clemens. Let's start with history being made for South African women's rugby as the side has qualified for the World Cup quarterfinals for the first time ever. They beat Italy 29-24. Player of the match, Libby Janssen van Rensburg.
This is massive. We spoke about changing history in South Africa for women's rugby. And today, we did that. Everyone here was part of that. Every single lady that's in the squad was part of making history today. And I think we really made South Africa proud today.
Huge transfer news. Liverpool have completed the signing of Alexander Isak from Newcastle for a reported £125 million. The Reds remain unbeaten after a 1-0 win over Arsenal. Szoboszlai with a goal in the 83rd minute. While Manchester City's slump continues, they've won only 1 in 3 games played. They lost 2-1 to Brighton yesterday. Coach Guardiola.
We forgot to play. We have done brilliantly the first hour, and a tough opponent always have been. We played really, really good. We create a lot. We played really, really good in the beginning. We conceded a goal, and after that, we are a little bit more unstable. And non-stable because I know how good they are, how strong they are. It's because we forget to continue playing. And always you never can stop to play.
West Ham beat Nottingham Forest 3-0 Palace with a 3-0 win over Aston Villa. Back home in the Betway Premiership, Orlando Pirates cruised to victory over Chippa United 3-0 with goals from Maswangani, Hotto and Moremi. Polokwane finished yesterday's game 1-0 with Gelant. In golf, Tristan Lawrence won the European Masters in Switzerland for a second time. His final round 66 saw him finish on 22 under, 2 ahead of the field. Novak Djokovic is the first man to reach at least the quarterfinal stage of all 4 Grand Slams in 9 different seasons. He'll play Taylor Fritz in the quarterfinals of the US Open. Alcaraz next takes on Lehecka. While on the women's side, Krejcikova saved 8 match points to beat Townsend. She'll play Pegula in the quarterfinals. Sabalenka cruised and will meet Vandrousova, who knocked out the 9th seed Rybakina. And in Formula 1, Piastri won the Dutch Grand Prix after Norris retired with an oil leak. Piastri, with his 7th win of the season, finished ahead of Verstappen and Hajar, who gave Racing Bulls a first ever podium. Bad day for the Ferraris as both their cars crashed out. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
Feeling some lag in Sector 3?
Copy. Optimizing working capital. Ready. You're approaching a tight corner. Cash flow pressure ahead.
Low on liquidity. Supply pressure is building. Set.
Deploying cash injection in 3, 2, 1, flow.
Nice move. Better supply chain control.
Lab time advantage. Faster cash cycles, leaner inventory, and optimized working capital.
Ready, set, cash flow. Corporate banking from RMB. RMB, a division of First Rand Bank Limited, an authorized FSP and credit provider.
Ready to lead the future of business? Well, the Wits Business School, Africa's premier business education institution, offers a wide range of postgraduate programs designed to grow your leadership, strategic thinking, and impact. Whether you're looking to deepen your expertise or broaden your horizon, there's a qualification to match your ambitions. Take the next step in your career with Wits Business School. Visit wbs.ac.za to find out more about the program that's right for you. That's wbs.ac.za.
The team's on a roll today. Let me focus on payroll. Duty calls in the kitchen. That's why I have a business insurer that is agile and on the ball all the time on all things. I chose My Way Business Insurance, getting 24/7 emergency service and saving on my premiums, plus my business assist to handle my admin.
Visit myway.co.za or dial 0860 64 64 64 and get a quote today. My Way is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's, C's and standard rates apply. My Way. Live your way.
Hollywood Bet, Aziz Shege, Beyond the Game is back for the new soccer season. Up for grabs is a share of 4 million rand in prizes, including the Toyota Rumion, Corolla Cross, Hilux 2.4 GD6 DC, and a Starlet Cross. To qualify, bet 10 rand or more on any soccer fixture or fixtures for your chance to score big. Bet now.
T's and C's apply. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counselling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710.
EWN Traffic.
The CWN Traffic is brought to you by the new Opel Grandland. With the smart tech and striking design, it's German engineering on a grand scale. Test drive one today at your nearest Opel dealer. Amu, the N12 East, there's a crash there.
There is indeed, Clement. It's really a nightmare on the roads today because we've got so many accident scenes, and I'll try to keep you updated with all of them. Like on the N12 East, right near Klipsburg Valley Road, delays from Abu Bakr, about a 20-minute hold up there. If you're traveling in Omonde, another accident scene. This one is on the M1. Actually, it's both directions, right near Xavier Street. It's causing heavy delays. And then if you continue on the M1 North, that one that happened in the early hours of this morning by Glenhove Road. It's still there, causing about a 30-minute holdup coming all the way from Boyson's Road towards Glenhove Road. The M1 South is also backed up as a result of the scene. Traveling in Linbro Park, or just south of Linbro Park, we've got an accident near Linksfield Road. Delays from Modderfontein Road. Please be on the lookout there and approach with care. I will have more updates for you. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Great entrance? Forget that. Make a grand entrance.
Grand!
Be late, make everyone wait, and be grateful they did. Peeps be rubbernecking, staring gormlessly like deer in your 50,000 intelligent LED headlights.
Grand!
Make a grand entrance in the new Opel Grandland, designed and made in Germany. Achtung, baby.
Grand!
It's even got massage seats.
Uber grand!
Visit opel.co.za for more.
702.
What's the question?
Going up to 10 minutes before 8 o'clock. So it's time for you to tell us what's the question. Today's answer is 2012. So for 2,000 Rand in cash, thanks to Outsurance, Joy in Benoni, please tell me what's the question.
Hi, Clement. The question is, in which year did Taylor Swift's hit single, We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together, hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100?
Oh, Joy, congratulations to you. It was indeed in 2012 when that song went all the way on top of the Billboard charts. Congratulations to you, Joy. You walk away with 2,000 Rand in cash thanks to Outsurance and 702.
In a month when you said you needed space. What? Then you come around again and say, baby, I miss you and I swear I'm gonna change. Trust me, remember how that lasted for a day? I say I hate you, we break up, you call me, I love you. Ooh, we called it off again last night, but ooh, this time I'm telling you, we are never ever getting back together. We are never ever getting back together. You go talk to your friends, talk to my friends, talk to me.
Hey Clement, how's it? Hey man, you've been talking about dating and relationships for the past 2 weeks, man. What's happening? Are you in love? Rookies. Nice show, man.
That's funny. The question we've been asking you this morning around this song is how your life has changed after a breakup, because the song by Taylor Swift is actually it's a breakup anthem, really. That's what a lot of people will tell you. And it's rumored to be inspired by her high-profile romance with Jake at the time. And it really struck a chord with friends across the globe and went to become one of Swift's defining songs. Do you remember what your breakup song was, Amo, growing up? Was it Tamia, probably?
No, I don't remember a breakup song. And I also don't remember, like, my breakup glow up. Like, what did I do to, find myself
After
as a single person?
breakup?
No.
Really? That's fascinating. Well, there are a lot of people who they dye their hair, they get a tattoo, they become a gym rat. I particularly have seen a lot of women who post-divorce.
Yeah.
And suddenly they go to gym and their bodies are banging. They're looking good.
I thought you were going to say, I particularly take up sports if I'm going through a breakup. And
not really. I'm just a sporty person in general on a normal day. So what do you do after a breakup? Just listen to songs and pray for a better one. Up next, 8 minutes before 8.
Social Clement, TT here in Pretoria. When the lady got the question right, you forgot to say, your biscuits.
Wayne, for you, what is the real deal? For me, it's really customer service. It's getting my money's worth. So if I phone Outsurance and I've got a problem, they're always there.
So it's not just we've got your money, now off you go.
No, money is not the biggest deal for me. It's service. Just phone Outsurance, get a quote and see what they can offer you. If you don't save that 321 like I did, you might get a 500 or $1,000 back. Service and savings, you'll always get something out.
Go to outsurance.co.za now for a 10-minute quote that could save you thousands.
What does you always get something out mean to you, Lorette?
Outsurance, my
made it possible for us to live our dream to travel more with the money in our pocket that we save.
Let me know, what is it?
725. It was unbelievable. My husband, he sits there on the chair and he's just nodding his head and say, yes, yes, yes. This is really not just an advertisement. This is really real.
Go to outsurance.co.za now for a 10-minute quote that could save you thousands. Licensed insurer and FSP. T's, C's, and information online.
Corporates That Care promotes and encourages corporate leaders and all citizens to walk the talk for a better South Africa. Catch Corporates That Care this Wednesday at 10 to 9 featuring Cipla. Their CEO, Paul Miller, will be in conversation with me. Join us every Wednesday as we highlight the efforts of companies and brands dedicated to building our country. Corporates That Care is a Prime Media Cares initiative with 702 and Prime Media Outdoor. 702, let's walk the talk and make a difference together.
One festival, endless flavor, and 2 unforgettable days of timeless music. The DSTV Delicious International Food and Music Festival, powered by Lotto Star, returns on 20 and 21 September at Kyalami Grand Prix Circuit. On Saturday, the stage erupts with Don Tolliver, Questa, and Nkabi Zezwe. Then on Sunday, experience the legendary Lauryn Hill, Wyclef Jean, Lyra, and more. The DSTV Delicious Festival, powered by Lotto Star. Tickets at Ticketmaster.
Breathe in, insurance. Breathe out, pineapple. In, insurance. Breathe out, pineapple. Again, in, insurance. Out, pineapple. Again and again.
Pineapple FSP 48650 is underwritten by Omart Insure Limited, a licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP.
702.
702. What's gone viral?
Good morning,
Kabazela.
Kabazela.
Good morning, Clem, and happy spring day to everybody.
Happy spring day to you too. Let's
thanks.
start with this story about a hat involving this Polish tennis player Kamil Majek. What happened?
Yeah, I mean, so this guy, the tennis player, went over to the fans on the side, was doing some signatures, and then was handing out his cap. And this cap was almost taken by this young little boy, and this adult just snatched it completely out of the little kid's reach and was quite chuffed with himself. And people saw it and were livid, and they took to all the social media platforms to comment on it and to track him down. And these social media sleuths did just that, and they tracked the person down and identified him and who he is and what he does for a living, Polish millionaire. And then this guy responds to everybody. The cheek, I mean, you got to admire it, really. He just is sticking by his guns. So he says this, he says, the recent incident at the tennis match has caused a disproportionate online uproar. It's all about the famous hat, of course. Yes, I took it. Yes, I did it quickly. But as I've always said, life is first come, first served, he claims. I understand that some people might not like it, but please, let's not make a global scandal out of a hat. It's just a hat. If you were Foster, you would have it. Regarding online hate, I remind you that insulting a public figure is subject to legal liability. All offensive comments, slander, and insinuations will be analyzed for the possibility of taking the matter to court.
Oh my goodness.
You'll see.
Well, I suppose the
hectic,
good
I tell
news
you.
is that Majek actually met with the young boy afterwards.
He did.
He posted a video where he gives him a cap. So
He
it's
did,
all
he
is
did.
restored.
So nice of him to do that, and nice for the youngster to get the cap.
Yeah.
But I'm paying attention to the comment there, and he says first come, first serve. You got to be quick, and you would do it too. So he obviously has that mentality that it's you got to put yourself first, and bugger anybody else. So I wanted to ask our 702 family this morning if are you that kind of person? Are you if there's something on offer or there's something to do, you don't care about somebody next to you, behind you, your colleague, whatever. You go because you put yourself first all the time. And how's it served you? How's it gone in your life? I mean, has it made you achieve certain things, or has it got you into trouble, like this incident with the Polish man stealing the cap?
Yeah.
I'd love to hear those stories. Are you that person who just bugger everybody else? I'm first.
Okay, give us a call or send us a WhatsApp voice note. Also, quickly tell us about this most extreme thing that this parent did to get her kids to behave.
Yeah, so time is tight. So these two youngsters fighting all the time, and the mother has had enough. What does she do? She puts them in the car. She drives them to the police station. Take a listen.
You are sorry every day. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. You are fighting. You are smacking each other. I'm bringing you to the police station. Why dance so? Every day. U7 ekuseni mina ngivuka empedeni khona manje. Ngoba nina niyalwa. Abantu abalwayo bafakwe emaphoyiseni. You won't do it again, Mom. And if you do,
it's so sad, Shab. So this mom has literally driven them to the police station. They're so young because they're fighting all the time. They're twins, right?
They are twins, boy and girl, dressed in their pajamas and their gown, and they are like, I don't think they're ever going to fight again. They're going to be besties. They're even holding each other's hands.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Outside the car.
What's the most extreme thing you have done to get your children to behave? Give us a call, because clearly these kids are scared of the police. And as the mom drives them to this police station, they're so terrified. I bet you they're never, ever, ever going to fight again. Share your experiences with us. What most extreme thing you've done to get your kids to behave?
702 feedback
with Siam and Matiso.
How are you doing, Sia?
I'm well, thank you. You know what's the extreme thing that parents do that I always find funny? It's when they point at a stranger and be like, Ausilo, better if you don't behave. And you're like, why do I have to be the bad person here?
Yeah.
I don't even know you guys. Can't wait to hear reactions to that. Many reacting to the president's reportedly unhappy with the National Commissioner's decision to return the 121 investigation dockets in the when it comes to the police. And many are saying, listen, they feel like the president is just interfering here. But Clement, I almost called you Wongs. Maybe it's because it's his birthday today.
Happy
birthday,
Bongani. We'll sing for him before we wrap the show today.
Yeah. So many are saying, listen, the president should chill. He's interfering here. Should just allow the police to do their work. And also many reacting to your breakup question. How did you cope? What happened? Where did you lose a lot of weight? Many lost weight. Some gained weight. Some changed their hair color. Some listened to a certain album like Lemonade by Beyonce. So it seems like many people went through it when it came to breakup, Clement. And lastly, they also answered Mutewa's question this morning on whether they still use cash and what do they use it for. So many use it for paying for their parking, petrol attendants, tipping them, or tipping at restaurants. And some just prefer to go digital. They know they are reckless with money, much like me. So I can't wait to hear now on their feedback on that and more.
All right, 011-883-0702. We'll be playing more of your WhatsApp voice notes and taking your calls after the news. It's a minute after 8.
This is EWN.
The cost of fixing Lilian Ngoyi Street come under scrutiny, and victims of the Christmas Eve Boksburg explosion take action. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. The city of Johannesburg will soon launch phase 2 of the Lilian Ngoyi Street rehabilitation project as it reopens today. This comes more than 2 years after the street was damaged by an underground gas pipe explosion, leaving one person dead and more than 48 people injured. City officials have confirmed that the first phase, which involved repairs, has now been completed. Johannesburg Mayor Dada Morero will officially lead the reopening of the street this morning. Alfara Mushwana has more.
The city of Johannesburg has allocated 192 million rand for the rehabilitation of Lilian Ngoyi Street. When Eyewitness News spoke to CEO of the Johannesburg Roads Agency, Zweli Nyathi, last night, he couldn't confirm how much had been spent on phase 1, with the last reported amount being 64 million rand. The remaining funds will be used to enhance the street's appearance, including installing sidewalk pavements, street side chairs and other amenities. But DA Gauteng leader Solim Simanga has expressed concerns, suggesting that the total cost of 192 million rand may warrant further scrutiny.
We have now been told that there's over 200 million that has been spent to fix this.
Please tell me, what does 200 million look like if you're looking at a place like this?
Delays in completing the repairs were due to a dispute with a previous contractor whose contract was terminated last year. Alpha Ramshwana, Eyewitness News.
A mother who lost 4 children in the 2022 Boksburg explosion says she hopes the recently filed 65 million rand lawsuit will get the wheels of justice moving. It's been almost 3 years since a gas truck exploded after getting trapped under a low-lying bridge in the Johannesburg's East Rand. 41 people were killed and many more injured on Christmas Eve. Some families of the deceased, along with the survivors of the tragedy, have filed a civil lawsuit against the trucking company, the labour broker of the truck driver, and the city of Ekurhuleni over claims of negligence. Thabiso Koba reports.
Rosetta Brits, who was sitting in her home when the explosion happened, says she first thought it was an earthquake. However, the thick plumes of black smoke rising into the sky confirmed it was something far worse. Panicked that her children were outside playing, Brits left her house barefoot and headed to the scene of the explosion. Once there, Brits found the burnt remains of her 4 children.
You know, it will never bring my kids back to me. But the company, that guy, he doesn't need to be working. He needs to be punished like he punished people's family members.
The unemployed woman who shares a home with her 14-year-old child says the teen cannot start high school since she doesn't have money for scholar transport. Thabiso Koba, Eyewitness News.
The SACP says there's no bad blood between the organisation and Gwede Mantashe after unceremoniously removing him from its central committee. The party says it was forced to remove Mantashe for his poor attendance record, claiming he had missed too many meetings. This comes amid heightened tensions over the SACP's decision to contest elections alone, putting it on a collision course with its alliance partner, the ANC. SACP's first Deputy General Secretary, Madala Masuku, addressed Mantashe's removal at a media briefing yesterday.
But one thing that actually led to that, the key one, is the fact that he wasn't sending apologies, even after being persuaded. I mean, the Central Committee was left without no option but to say, we do understand, yes, the challenges that he's having, but one of the basic things of members of the Communist parties are taught is to respect collectives where they are.
And at least 12 people have been killed in Sudan after an army drone strike hit a clinic in the west of the country, which is under paramilitary control. A war monitoring group says the attack hit the Yafshin clinic in Nyala, which is the capital of South Darfur, over the weekend. The death toll is expected to rise as preliminary reports indicate that dozens of civilians and medical staff may have been killed. The Nyala city is the last major stronghold in the vast western Darfur region, still under army control, and there has been no immediate comment from the Sudanese army. Gold is trading at $3,480.28 an ounce. The rand is at 17.62 to the dollar, 23.84 to the pound, 20.65 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $67.20 a barrel.
There are some delays around the Rahima Musa Hospital due to a protest that's currently taking place there. Routes that are to be avoided include Fuel Road as well as the entrance right near the hospital. So please be on the lookout there. While traveling in Omondi, we've got an accident reported on the M1. It happened on both sides of the road. It's causing heavy delays coming out of Xavier Street. Please be on the lookout there.
And in your sport, Liverpool will complete the signing of Alexander Isak after he gets through today's medical. The Reds top the league table after beating Arsenal 1-0. Springbok women with a historic win over Italy that put them through to the Rugby World Cup quarter-finals. And Piastri wins in the Netherlands as his teammate Norris was forced to retire.
A fine day in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs between 32 and 33 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour: the city of Johannesburg will soon launch phase 2 of the Lilian Ngoyi Street rehabilitation project as it reopens today.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
702 on 92.7 and 106 FM.
Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
And on DSTV channel 856.
8 minutes after 8 o'clock. Dumelang, welcome to the third and final hour of 7:02 Breakfast. Clement Manyatela here in for Bongani for the rest of the week. We've been asking you about the most extreme thing you have done to get your kids to behave. Kabazela, just before 8 o'clock, played us this video of this parent who took the kids to the police station, and they are terrified of the police because they've been fighting and they are twins, and you can see how terrified they are. But the mom is just so tired and fed up with their misbehavior. How do you get them to behave? How do you get your son to behave?
I actually thought about Kabazela's video now and my own situation. And unfortunately, I am the one that scares the children. So
I'll tell your dad.
Yeah, my sister does the same with my nephews as well.
Hey, Bo, what do you do?
I've done nothing before.
No ways, man. I'm actually like terrified of Moteo now because I knew those uncles. I've had uncles. In fact, my dad was a Moteo.
Okay.
When you say, I'm going to tell your father, all of us are terrified. And that's because he used to give us a hiding. So now I'm looking at you with my S. What do you do?
No, there's nothing that I do.
To be feared.
I speak to people and they hear.
Look at that. I don't believe. Can I share something? Like, it's vulnerable, so please don't judge me.
Yeah.
Promise me you're not going to judge me. And this only happened once.
It's okay if it happens
my niece,
more than once.
My niece also gets to misbehave. And I found a weapon, but I realized that later maybe it doesn't help. She loves like yogurt, like your Danone.
Yeah, the one in a small
cup.
cup.
So when she misbehaves, I would like go to the fridge, take out a Danone and have it in front of her.
No. And I'm bad. I'm the bad one.
And I'm going to enjoy it in front of her. And she looks at me with those eyes. I'm like, and then she says, she gets in line. And
You're not her favorite, are you?
I know. I did it once, guys. Please don't judge me.
It's okay if you wanted the Danone, Clem. You don't have to make the
Well,
kid
I
an
did also
excuse.
want the Danone, to be fair. How about you, Amu?
Well, I just go the hard route. I want them to feel the pain of taking something, either something that doesn't belong to them or of saying something rude or mean. You know, so I'm not the hardcore like Moteo and
So what, do you get them to go apologize?
Yeah,
or?
yeah.
Okay.
And for my son, it's a big thing because he is very shy. So the one time he came back home with a small little chalk, a green and a red one. I thought they were doing some odd thing. Then he said, no, I just took it because it was sitting there. And I said, no, honey, not in this. You are sending this back. And so when he took the chalk back, the teacher didn't understand what had just happened. But I phoned the teacher on the side, said, you must expect him to bring back the
And
chalk
apologize.
and he did. And when he did it, apparently he was distraught. He was crying, was miserable. His whole day was basically ruined. So I want them to feel how wrong it is to have done whatever they did.
Okay, how do you do it? What's your most extreme thing? The most extreme thing you've done to get your kids to behave? It's 11 minutes now after 8 o'clock.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
Opa, you're calling us from Senton. Good morning.
Good morning, Clement. I did do something exactly what that lady did. I had taken my child at starting school. She was 6 years of age at primary school to this private school, predominantly of Jewish people in Lindest. And the kids there at age 6 and 7 in the first year of school were getting about 50 rand, 100 rand a day in pocket money or lunch money. And my poor child was only getting a sandwich. And she started helping herself to some of their money and some of the beautiful snacks the other kids bought.
Oh, my goodness.
And guess what? The school, so she would come home with something that I had not, or her mother had not given her in the morning. And when we asked, she would accuse a certain friend of hers of having given it to her. And the school started contacting me and told me my child is misbehaving, she's stealing stuff from people. And when I confronted her, she denied it, and I got a call again that she had done the same. I went one Saturday to the police station up the road and spoke to and found a lady there, a Constable Brown, and said, Miss Brown, please help me. I described the problem and said, please arrest this child when I bring her later, and teach her how you deal with criminals. The police deal with criminals. And I wanted the mom to get out of it and not get involved at all and not interfere. Of course, when I delivered the child to the school, Constable Brown was waiting, and there was a cell that had been cleared. She was placed there, and I left for an hour. I really left, and Constable Brown kept calling me with my child crying in the background, asking the child to talk to me. And I said, no, Constable, please do what you do to criminals. And an hour later, I went and collected the child and thanked Constable Brown for arresting her. She really was hysterical and crying and promising never to do it again. Guess what? Constable Brown herself was pregnant. And 2 weeks later, or 3 weeks later, when I went with a chocolate and a bunch of flowers to give to her, she had I didn't find her because she was gone on maternity leave. I've never seen her again. She worked at the police station in the suburb next to Lyndhurst. Forgetting the name now.
Oh, in Lyndhurst.
Yes,
Somebody
there's a police
has to
station
help
there.
us find Constable Brown in Lyndhurst.
There's a police station. The police station next to, I'm forgetting the name of the suburb now, but that's where next to Lyndhurst, on your way to Saheti School. That's the police station over there.
Okay.
The name has just escaped me.
Next to the
Constable Brown
Saheti
left.
School.
Yeah, Constable Brown left that police station, and I couldn't find her when I went back again to thank her. But the child has never stolen a thing again.
Listen, I would
and she's
never,
an adult now.
I also wouldn't steal anything again after I've just been left in a cell frame. How old was she at the time?
She was 6.
Oh! You've just traumatized the poor child. But that's good trauma, because then you know that if you do anything criminal or wrong and you're stealing from people, that's what you'll be subjected to. My goodness. Does anybody know Constable Brown? I think we could do with their services. Do you know how many kids would behave? So many kids would behave knowing that we'll take them to Constable Brown. Anyone who knows Constable Brown used to work at this Lyndhurst police station on your way to the Saheti School. Please, I'd like you to give us a call. 16 minutes now after 8.
Yo, Clement, about scaring the kids. I remember I was once referred to that Ndate Angambana, this mom was trying to scare a kid with me.
Hi, Clement. One day my children were fighting in the car and I was driving, making noise. They were disturbing me on the freeway. What I said to them, I just said, I'll drop you off right here on the freeway. You'll walk home and you'll learn to love each other. And I got pissed.
Morning, Clement. Morning, 702 listeners. Clement, myself, I even get others to behave or to get their acts in order. I'm a law enforcer. This thing of having family members and friends, when they have done wrong and then they have been stopped or arrested, they will call you. Hey, cousin, hey, brother, hey, I'm being arrested. Yeah, I asked them, what's happening? He said, no. They said I'm drunk. And I asked, what have you done? No, I only took a sip. I said, please give the phone to the office. When the officer get the phone, I said, arrest him. That's it.
And that seems to really be what's working. Apparently, the police station is sending. Which one is it? The police station in Lyndhurst. In fact, there's a voice note. Sandringham. Sandringham is the name of the police station in Lyndhurst, where Constable Brown used to work. Yeah, we are trying to locate her. Give us a call on 011-883-0702. WhatsApp's on 072-702-1702.
EWN Traffic.
17 minutes after 8 o'clock. Amo, how are the roads looking?
There's so many accidents on the roads this morning, Clement. The one that happened in Harton is still there, right near Glenhove Road. It's still causing those long queues coming out of Boyson's Road. While traveling in the Omondi area, another accident seen on the M1 South after Xavier Street, also causing delays. And the one that was reported earlier in El Dorado Park along the N12 East is still there, but the delays are much better now. And if you're traveling in the Edenville area, an accident seen on the N3 South right near Linksfield Road, delays from Modderfontein Road. Please be on the lookout. I'll have more updates. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Imagine saving on car insurance. Now, imagine getting 500 Rand or 1,500 Rand if you don't save. That's right. If OutSurance can't beat your car insurance premium, ask them for 500 Rand cash. Make that 1,500 Rand if you've been claim-free and with the same insurer for 3 years. So saving or cash, you always get something out. Get a quick and easy quote today. Call 08600 60,000 or visit outsurance.co.za. Licensed insurance FSP. T's and C's and information online.
If you want to know about the heart and art of jazz, look no further than the Standard Bank Joy of Jazz Festival, a grand ensemble of over 50 world-class acts across 4 stages for 3 whole days. That's right, from the 26th, 27th and 28th of September. The Sandton Convention Center will be demure and sophisticated as the fine Standard Bank Joy of Jazz 2025 takes you deep into the heart, the art and splendor of jazz. Take me there. Book your seat via Ticketmaster now.
Hey besties, welcome to my kitchen tour, or should I say my new walk-in wardrobe. Over here we have the pantry, now home to my jeans and shirts, all color-coded. Oh, and the air fryer, literally the perfect place for my makeup brushes. And who would have thought, the oven is the place to store my handbags.
Who needs a kitchen? Simply spend 200 Rand or more and you could win Simply Asia for a year. T's and C's apply. Simply Asia, connecting the Thaiway.
10 years ago, Illuma Capital set out with one goal: to help people like you build a legacy for tomorrow. Through personalized strategies and unwavering dedication, we've been instrumental in helping our clients achieve their financial dreams. Whether it's securing retirement, growing wealth, or planning for the unexpected. For a decade, we've been trusted to guide your financial journey with expertise and care. Visit illuma.co.za today. Illuma Capital is a licensed FSP. T's and C's apply.
Looking for real ways to live greener? Then don't miss the Green Tip of the Week, your weekly dose of sustainable inspiration from eco-entrepreneurs to climate champions. We sit down with the people making real change. Catch the Green Tip of the Week every Tuesday on Afternoon Drive with John Pellman, 3 to 6 p.m. only on 702. Proudly brought to you by Volvo. It's safe to be brave with Volvo.
702, The World View.
With Adam Gilchrist.
21 minutes after 8 o'clock. Adam, good morning.
Good morning. Happy Monday, as no one ever says.
Yeah, happy Monday, I guess. Let's talk about the security summit in China. You've got leaders from Russia, China, India, along with their counterparts from other countries meeting.
It's an sort of alternate summit, I guess, pushing back against Western influence, in particular American influence, and therefore sort of in an equilibrium kind of way, in a balance of global affairs, probably an interesting thing, an important thing. Whether it's a good thing or not might depend on your take on it. We know that China and India have already talked about ending a long-running border dispute. We were talking about this a few months ago. It erupted into violence between China and Indian troops on the border, but apparently Xi Jinping and Narendra Modi have met already at the so-called Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Essentially, it's China's summit, saying that they are partners, not rivals. We also know that the Russian President Vladimir Putin is going. Again, there are some interesting and alternative leaders, apart from China and Russia and India. There are leaders from Pakistan, Myanmar, Iran, and North Korea who'll be attending at various stages. And I quite like the nickname for this. It's not called the Axis of Evil. Of course, it's not evil, but the Axis of Upheaval. I quite like as a catchy name for this summit. We'll see what comes out of it because it will probably affect us all, as these things tend to do.
Absolutely. And then in Mexico, why are there so many missing people?
Well, that's the question. Why? And where are they? And what's happened? It's distressing, of course, for families, which is why there's been a whole weekend of protests and demonstrations and people holding up placards. One woman held a placard, "President, what does the country that sows bodies harvest?" Amongst the protests in Mexico City, Guadalajara, Cordoba, and other cities, because of the number of missing. More than 130,000 people have been reported missing in Mexico. We're not going back into time. We're talking since 2007, when the then president Felipe Calderon launched his war on drugs. The trouble is, the war on drugs saw the gangs absolutely raise their heads, recruiting into the drug cartels. So some people disappeared having been recruited. Others were murdered for refusing to be recruited. The gangs certainly have a lot to answer for, but Mexico's police and army are also being blamed for some of the deaths and disappearances. 130,000, though. It is a multifaceted, multi-crime series of atrocities, and you can see why people are so emotional about it in Mexico.
Mm-hmm. And then there are these three Scottish brothers that have gone to do something I will never, ever, ever try to do. They were rowing the Pacific. I mean, that's what, the world's largest ocean?
Say it quickly, doesn't sound so bad, does it? Yeah, rowing the Pacific. I confess, I find it hard enough to row in a straight line around a pond in a park. The idea of rowing in a straight line from Peru to Queensland, Australia, I mean, they no holds, they're not starting on islands. Sometimes when people row the Atlantic or sail the Atlantic, they go from the Canaries to Antigua. So they sort of have borrowed a bit at either end. But these boys, the Jamie Ewan and Lachlan McLean brothers, they did the full 15,000 kilometers, rowing for very nearly 140 days. Although, as they said at the end, they had 139 beautiful sunrises and sunsets, and they will miss those. It's quite a feat. I mean, it's a specially adapted boat. They trained for it. They're young, fit guys in their late 20s. They know what they're doing, although one of them was washed overboard at one stage by a big wave. But I also love the fact that they took with them, because it was unsupported, nobody helping them land, nobody resupplying. They had to take everything with them, water and 500 kilos of freeze-dried food, but also some chocolate and coffee, which is apparently the key to it. And being Scottish, they had 75 kilos of oats. I think there's a headline there somewhere about porridge powers the Pacific, something along those lines.
That would be a nice one. Adam Gilchrist, thank you.
Pleasure.
EWN
We're up to 26 minutes after 8 o'clock. Mutau Khwarepa AMSA shutting down its long steel business.
This has been a major fight, especially from government, to try and keep these operations open. But the struggling steel giant ArcelorMittal SA has informed employees that attempts to save its long steel business have failed, with 3,500 workers now set to lose their jobs. According to Business Day, the firm sent out a memo to employees on Friday, where AMSA CEO Kobus Vester said the group would wind down its long steel business at the end of September. Now, the businesses in Vereniging and Newcastle have been bleeding cash, with the entire group now being unprofitable. The major concerns for AMSA has been around the cost of energy or cost of electricity while doing their business, but also the cheaper steel coming in from China. The company has been in lengthy talks with the Department of Trade and Industry and the Industrial Development Corporation to find ways to save its operations. The IDC says no decision has been made in relation to further support for ArcelorMittal South Africa. Earlier this year, it gave AMSA 2.6 billion rand to plug losses and continue operations.
Speaking of the IDC, how are their results looking?
Yeah, not in a position where they can disperse a lot of money, unfortunately, Clement. The Industrial Development Corporation says profits were down 96% to 329 million rand for the 2024-2025 financial year. Now, the IDC recorded 4 billion rand in debt write-offs, with more than 20% of loans non-performing. The funding institution has a mandate to help South Africa industrialize and create jobs. It dispersed most funds to the mining and agriculture sectors. The IDC gave distressed businesses some 2.2 billion rand over the past year, helping to save 16,000 jobs. Now, this was, however, lower than the more than 24,000 job target given for the 2024-2025 financial year.
How are the markets?
Well, Asia Pacific markets this morning trading mixed as investors assess China's rating dog manufacturing data for August. The metric, which was previously known as the Caixin Purchasing Managers Index, came in at 50.5. Any number above 50 is, of course, positive. Any number below 50 is a contraction. Data released Sunday showed that the country's manufacturing PMI data came in at 49.4 in August, an improvement from 49.3 a month before. Then look at how the markets responded then to that. Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index rising by more than 2%, with gains led by Alibaba Group, which jumped 17% this morning. Meanwhile, in mainland China's CSI 300, markets were up close to 0.5%. In Japan, the Nikkei declined by close to 2%. Back home on Friday, things were not as rosy. It was almost all red on the JSE as banking stocks were down more than 1%. That saw the all-share down 23 points. Industrial were a little firmer. All mining shares were up more than 1%. Looking at some of the companies that did well then on Friday, Telkom was up more than 3%. Harmony was up 2.5%. Sibanye Stillwater up 2%, with retailer Boxer Stores up 1.5%. Not the best of days for South Africa's banks and financial institutions. First Rand down 2%. Old Mutual was down 1.5%. Investec PLC down 2%, with ABSA also amongst the losers down 1.5%. Rand at this hour gaining on the dollar, 17 Rand 61 against the US currency, at 20 Rand 65 cents against the euro, and at 23 Rand 83 cents against the British pound. Price of gold up to 1% now this morning at $3,479 an ounce, while platinum is also stronger by 1% at $1,380. Brent crude remaining low for those petrol and diesel prices at $67.33 a barrel. That's your morning business. Stephen Grotas then with more later this afternoon.
It takes us to exactly 8:30. Sfiso has the latest in Eyewitness News.
Thanks, Clement. Good morning. Activists are expected to demonstrate at the Prince-Hof School for the Blind in Pretoria this morning following allegations that a 14-year-old pupil was sexually assaulted by a teacher. The alleged attack only came to light after the child's father noticed a sharp drop in her academic performance and took the matter up with the school. The pupil then reportedly revealed that she no longer felt safe at the school because of the alleged abuse. Not in My Name says it is outraged by what it calls a serious failure by the school's management to protect children. Spokesperson Themba Masango says a criminal case has been opened at the Pretoria police station.
We call upon the principal and the management of Prince-Hof School to provide their full and unconditional cooperation. Then there needs to be support for the victim. We demand that the Department of Education and the school provide immediate, ongoing professional and psychological support for the victim and her family to aid her healing.
On the East Rand, Gauteng Education MEC Matume Chilwane will visit Aura Park Primary School in Nigel today, where parents stopped their children from attending classes due to safety concerns. Parents claim the Education Department has not fulfilled its promise to upgrade deteriorating infrastructure, which they say has become hazardous. It's understood that the department sent inspectors in 2023 who declared the buildings unsafe, and mobile classrooms were then provided to mitigate the risk. However, the school claims not enough mobile units were offered, forcing the school to use part of the buildings that were declared unsafe. Parents have told EWN that the department has failed to fulfill its promise to upgrade aging infrastructure.
It brings nothing but being frustrated because, number one, the child is sitting at home now. It's not nice at all. But number two, I have got to consider that my child cannot come to school whilst he is not safe here.
I've been with the school from 2016. Now in winter, I came to school one day. The children were all soaking wet because there's no shelter for them during break. Sitting in a wet class, it's unsafe.
Rise Mzansi's National Assembly Whip Makashule Ghana has given public leaders another tongue lashing, accusing politicians of being self-serving. This follows claims by KZN Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi that some of the country's top politicians are linked to crime syndicates. Ghana weighed in again on claims of maladministration and corruption within the police service on what would have been the start of the Commission of Inquiry into Interference today. The indefinite suspension of the Commission's work is believed to be linked to procurement challenges. Ghana says public institutions need to be urgently restored.
The fights that you see in the police has got nothing to about protecting you. They're not fighting about protecting you. They're not fighting about protecting South Africa. It's about money. It's access to contracts. If the fight was about who delivers, who gets to deliver, then it will be better.
And in breaking news out of Afghanistan, the Interior Ministry there has reported that more than 600 people have died after a magnitude 6.0 earthquake struck the eastern part of the country. Last night, the quake at a relatively shallow depth of 800 kilometers reportedly shook buildings from Kabul to Pakistan's capital Islamabad, more than 200 kilometers away. Officials are warning of high casualty figures as they wait for more details, as the remoteness of the area makes it hard to provide accurate estimates, along with entire villages being destroyed. Locals have told the BBC that landslides have cut off areas near the epicenter, meaning it will take a long time to fully assess the damage. A fine day in store for Gauteng today. The temperatures are at lows of 7 and 12 degrees, peaking at highs between 31 and 32.
And in the traffic, we've got bumper-to-bumper delays on the M1 North between Empire Road and Glenhove Road due to that major accident scene. The M1 South is also backed up coming out of Grayston Drive. N3 North, an accident reported the N3 South reported right near Linksfield Road. Delays coming out of Vincent Chabalala Road.
The top story this hour, activists are expected to demonstrate at the Prince of School for the Blind in Pretoria following allegations that a 14-year-old pupil was sexually assaulted.
Payment solutions should run with your business wherever and whenever it happens. With PayFast by Network, you can accept payments online, in-store or on the move with one simple, secure system. And when business picks up, our Easy Advance funding gives you flexibility to move even faster. Always open, for every hour, for every order, for you. Sign up today at payfast.io. PayFast has partnered with TymeBank to offer funding to your business.
Ah, choices. We love them. Like a Jator dealer asking you, so which one do you like? And you're like, do you like the bold, stylish, head-turning dashing from $4,999 per month? Or the adventurous 7-seater X70 Plus from $5,199 per month? Both. Because yes, choices. Book your test drive at jator.coza and make an excellent choice either way. T's and C's apply. Jator. Drive your future.
There's strong. Then there's AfriSem Strong. So champion the build with AfriSem Cement. The trusted A1 choice for builders who demand nothing less than superior quality. Crafted for exceptional strength, proven durability, and proudly produced in Mzansi. Because some builds just aren't strong. They're built to last with AfriSem. Proud official sponsor to the Springboks.
PG Glass Repair, PG Glass Replace.
Hi, I'm Telane, PG Glass Technician. Got a chip on your windscreen? No worries. Our advanced repair technology fixes it with precision. If you don't have insurance, we offer affordable cash deals on high-quality windscreen replacements to keep you safe.
We can also help you claim from your insurance. Plus, you get a lifetime workmanship guarantee. As the natural choice to fix your glass problems, we're the best at what we do. For quality you can trust, call 0860 030303 today.
The Money Show.
Weekday evenings at 6.
On the next Money Show, Keith Van Sale, co-founder and partner at Knife Capital, joins us as the headmaster of our weekly investment school. He'll look at the pros and cons of investing in unlisted companies. The IDC CEO, Mamakhoshi Lekete, delivers her maiden results as the company's new boss. Impala Platinum releasing its annual financial statements. Their CEO, Nico Muller, will take us through those figures and the state of the mining sector in general. Also, analysis of all the top business news of the day.
The Money Show
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
The Money Show, Stephen Curtis, is brought to you by APSA CIB, proud sponsor of the SARA Rail Conference 2025. Your story matters. APSA is a registered FSP.
702.
WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Good morning, Clement. Good morning to the listeners. So I had a thing for my firstborn. Each time I wanted his attention or I'm telling him to stop something and he wouldn't, I'd say, Kotai, I'm going to count to 3 and it won't be nice. So months later, his little brother would do something and I'll be telling him, stop it, Tapiwa, sir. And then the brother would say, Mommy, tell Tapiwa you'll count to 3 and it won't be nice.
Hi, Clement and 702. I've just listened to this father who spoke about Constable Brown and I commend him. My father did the same thing with me and my siblings. You misbehave, you face the law. And we have grown up to be straightforward and law-abiding citizens. I've spoken about this with my children's creche and some parents, and they're all against it, saying this is child cruelty, but wait for the child to grow doing that, and they end up in prison for life. And then what? How I wish it was part of the school curriculum. The children should tour and go and visit prisons and know the consequences of bad decisions and bad actions. I commend that father. I take my hat off. I would do exactly the same. That child will never steal again. We'll never have these problems that we are having in this society.
Good morning, Clement. Oh, Clement, keep up the numbers. Constable Brown, please, I need her services. We must locate her. With my 10-year-old. My goodness. I think that lesson will teach him something. I need them, like, as a matter of urgency. Thank you.
Well,
bye.
I'm happy to tell you that we have found Constable Brown and we'll speak to her in the next couple of minutes. And if you've just joined us, Kabazela was telling us about this mom who took her kids to the police station because they were misbehaving. But they look so traumatized and they're like, because they're twins and they were fighting throughout and the mom is fed up. Takes them to the police station and says, I'm going to take you over. I'm going to give you over to the police officials. And the kids are traumatized and they start apologizing. They start hugging each other. And I've been asking you this morning, what are some of the most extreme things that you have done to get your kids to behave? So we got a call from Oba, who called and said he has taken his daughter to the police station when she was 6 because she would come home with some stolen stuff. Yeah. And since then, there was a Constable Brown. She's never stolen before. And Constable Brown, in fact, this dad called and says, I left my daughter at a police cell just for an hour. And the daughter was traumatized. So now there's a Constable Brown who allowed the daughter to stay there for about an hour and then they let her go. And since then, she's never stolen again. Well, Sergeant Brown is going to join us in a moment. It's 19 minutes before 9.
EWN Sport.
Cindy Paluta, last day of transfers. Any big news?
Yes, absolutely, Clement. The long-awaited transfer of Alexander Isak from Newcastle to Liverpool will go through today after Isak has had his medical at Anfield. Last night, Liverpool beating Arsenal 1-0 to top the league table. West Ham and Palace got 3-0 wins over Nottingham Forest and Villa. And Manchester City's bad season continues. They lost to Brighton 2-1. In the Betway Premiership, Pirates cruised to a 3-0 win over Chippa and Polokwane drew with Gallants 1-1. As we head into the international break, Sekekone is still top ahead of Chiefs and Sundowns. Pirates lie in 5th. The Springbok women reached the Rugby World Cup quarterfinals for the first time ever with one group game to go. They booked their playoff spot with a 29-24 win over Italy. Captain Nolasindi Soboy.
I don't want to lie, our opposition gave us a tough game. It was very tough out there. But for today, I think we give everything that we had as a team. We play as one, we give everything, and we go according to the plan that we have. We made sure that our set pieces are working for us, and we did exactly that.
In Currie Cup, the Bulls won't make the playoffs after losing to the Lions by 39 points. The Griquas, Cavaliers and Cheetahs occupy the top 3 spots, the Lions in 4th, with 1 round still to go. Novak Djokovic is the first man to reach at least the quarterfinal stage of all 4 Grand Slams in 9 different seasons. He'll play Fritz next at the US Open. Today's selected 4th round action, Sinner plays Bublik. On the women's side, Goff will play her friend Osaka. Swiatek takes on Alexandrova. In golf, South African Tristan Lawrence winning the European Masters, the final round 66 to finish 22 under. That's 2 ahead of the field. And in Formula 1, Piastri won the Dutch Grand Prix after Norris retired with an oil leak. Verstappen was second with Hadjar in third. That's Racing Bull's first ever podium. Piastri leads the driver standings by 34 points over Norris. Terrible race for Ferrari as both cars crashed out. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
EWN Traffic.
17 minutes before 9 o'clock. Amo with the last traffic update on breakfast this morning. How are the roads looking?
Well, we still have got that accident on the M1 North right near Glenhove Road exit. Delays from Empire Road. There's also queuing traffic in the southerly direction from the Baklu turn off to the Glenhove Road exit. If you are traveling on the N3 South, another accident scene for you heading towards Edenville. It's right near Linksfield Road. Delays from Vincent Chabalala Road. There's also queuing traffic on the N3 North between the Geldenhuys interchange and Morafontein Road. City of Tshwane, some issues on the R80 East approaching Eskom-Pahlele exit. We'll have more updates for you at the top of the hour. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
When captains of industry gather to discover how AI and other exponential technologies can future-proof their organizations, they'll find out what matters most at the Stellenbosch Business Institute C Leaders Summit. Global thought leader Dr. Vivian Ming will challenge you on what it means to lead in an automated world by unlocking the full power of human intelligence in the age of AI. Join her and other thought leaders by visiting the SB Institute.co.za to book your seat at the Stellenbosch Business Institute C Leaders Summit, 2nd of October at the Forum in Bryanston. Stellenbosch Business Institute, beyond a business school.
Betway's exclusive new games are taking the world by storm. Featuring massive Megaways jackpots. Take your shot on Cash and Riches, Wolf Plays, Gallo Gold Brunos, and many more incredible experiences for you to choose from. You're guaranteed to find a new ultra fun favorite. Get way more only at Betway. Betway's licensed by the Mpumalanga Economic Regulator. No persons under the age of 18 are permitted to gamble. NRGP counseling line 0800 006 008. All events are fixed odds betting games.
It took patience, perseverance, and audacity to get my first call up and win with the Bokke. And we did it together. That's why I, Dion Free, partnered with African Bank so I can win big with a 60-month fixed deposit. Patience brings results. Join the bank that backs you. Get a 12.8% return at expiry on your investment. Visit africanbank.co.za or a branch for assistance. African Bank, audacity to believe. African Bank is a licensed financial services and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
702.
More than a radio station.
Let's walk the talk.
14 minutes before 9 o'clock. So we got a call from Opa earlier, and Opa shared with us how the one extreme way he disciplined his daughter, who was 6 at the time, and was stealing stuff from school, was that he took her daughter to the police station many years ago, and he told us that he met Constable Brown, who let the daughter into a cell for about an hour, and Opa left, and the daughter was devastated, was crying, and Dad came back an hour later and thanked Constable Brown at the time for keeping the daughter in that cell for an hour. And since then, that daughter of Opa has never stolen again. And we've been asking, oh my goodness, all of us need a Constable Brown in our lives. Well, guess what? She's now Sergeant Brown, and she's on the line to us all the way from the East Rand. Sergeant Brown, how are you?
Hey, good morning, Clement Manyatela. Dumela Ra.
Dumela. Hey, you have been so popular this morning because you have helped discipline someone who was stealing.
I don't even remember when was it. You know,
Yeah.
I am just amazed. I am amazed, eh?
Yeah. Do you remember when the dad at the time brought this child and how distraught the child was?
Clement, let me be honest with you. I don't remember. It's long time ago. I was a constable then.
Yeah.
I think it's 16 years or 17 years ago because my twins are now 16 years.
Yeah.
It was before I got pregnant. I was a
Yes.
constable. Now I am a sergeant. I don't even remember.
Yeah, and Opa did say that when he came back and he had bought you flowers to thank you for that.
Oh
they
my
told him that you were pregnant, and
Oh my
and he's been
God.
looking for you. So I'm glad we were able to get a hold of you. Thank you so much for that contribution. Trust me, there are a lot of parents out there listening and thinking, I need a Sergeant Brown in my life. 12 minutes now before 9.
Coming up
On the Clement Manyatela Show.
on 702.
Tibos, how are you doing?
Shapuzetlami.
Hi, Kimnat. What's coming up on the show?
Couple of things, and on the open line, we will be discussing a very sensitive issue, and you've touched on it before, Clement. 3,500 babies are being abandoned in South Africa every year. Now, the authorities, Social Development Department, is saying that we should find legal ways of doing this because there are NGOs, including Baby Savers. Baby Savers is saying that if mothers want to abandon a child, they must rather do it in a responsible way by bringing the babies to them, and there's a certain small box attached to the wall. As soon as they put the baby inside, they will be alerted that there's a baby inside. Social Development is saying, but you're encouraging mothers to abandon the children, knowing that you are there. But on one end, Baby Savers is saying, if we don't do this, they'll be abandoned in the forest, in the toilets, and whatever else. So South Africa is generally not a baby or child friendly country, as we have seen in so many other incidents. And we want to find out from you as a parent today, what do we do? What do we do under such circumstances? Do we just get rid of these organizations that are trying to create a haven for the babies to be safely abandoned by mothers who do not want them? Or do we say, you're encouraging this, it's illegal, let the law take its course? And so we will touch on that and many other issues on the open line from 9 to 10. And then from 10 o'clock, we will touch on that NASA huge tariff bungle. You are going to be paying more simply because NASA messed up the tariffs with Eskom. So we'll touch on that just to give it a bit of understanding. 10:30 to 11 o'clock, the situation of doctors in South Africa is getting dire. The doctors who are migrating into South Africa and those who are unemployed, what do we do with those? We'll just touch on those issues. So if you're a doctor, please call in because we need your views. And from 11 to 12 on Family Matters, we're looking at families who have stigmatized mental health. Families don't talk about these issues. It's like you're mad whenever you raise these issues of mental health. But what is the right way of bringing it to the table when we gather for feasts, funerals, and all family gatherings in order for mental health to be an important subject on families' table? All that between 9 and 12, Clem.
All right, that's what's coming up between 9 and 12. It's going up to 9 minutes now before 9.
When your internet connection fails, does it really matter how fast it is? Business class internet is built for businesses. With remote monitoring, that means faster problem resolution and a backup LTE connection that keeps you online. Your company deserves business class internet because just reboot the router isn't a business strategy. Find reliability at vodacombusiness.co.za. Together, let's build the extraordinary. Further together. Vodacom Business.
Outsurance made it possible for us to travel more with the money that we save. 725. This is really real.
You are the biggest saver we've ever had.
2,794 Rand a month. It was the easiest switch ever. Get real.
How is it that Outsurance provided the solution for you?
918 Rand is what I'm saving.
Incredible.
Go to outsurance.co.za now for a 10-minute quote that could save you thousands. License insurer and FSP. T's, C's and information online.
South Africa runs on you, the business owners. Without you, nothing moves. And that's why we built Lula, South Africa's first business-only banking suite to give you the support you need. From faster access to funding to unlimited EFTs for a single fee and skilled relationship bankers ready to help your business grow. Visit lula.co.za and experience business class banking and funding today. Powered by Access Bank. T's and C's apply.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
Hi, Clement and the 702 team. You like to talk about breakups, Clement. I'm actually laughing. My breakup song is One Last Time, Ariana Grande. Wow, that song. Well, I actually wanted the guy to give us more time, like to give me more chance, but he'd made up his mind already. And years later, looking back, I really appreciate and thank him for moving on because I met my person. I'm in love now. I'm married. I wouldn't look back. Bye.
Hi, Clement. For me, after my divorce, I actually lost a lot of weight. I didn't gain breakup with fats. I lost a lot of weight, and because I was way too stressed, it was actually recommended by the doctor for me to join gym so I can distress. And when you're talking about dyeing hair, ever since I've had my hair very short and I change all colors on my head, so I wonder if that was part of it. I guess it means how many years, 9 years later, I'm still dealing with it because I still dye my hair and all that. But
Yeah, a lot of people have done different things, and we've been asking you, how did your life change after your breakup? Did you dye your hair with a wild color? Did you chop off your locks? Did you become a gym rat? Did you gain or lose some weight? Retail therapy? Did you get a tattoo? Some piercing to mark new beginnings? What is it really? Today we played you a song by Taylor Swift because back in 2012, the song We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together went onto the top of the Billboard charts. It was on this day back in 2012 when that happened. It's 6 minutes now before 9.
Let's walk the talk.
702.
Johannesburg is about to turn into Africa's biggest art playground at the FNB Art Joburg because it's returning for its 18th year from September 5th to the 7th. The Sandton Convention Center will be packed with bold artworks, fresh ideas, and some of the outlets or the continent's most exciting creative voices. So it's more than just an art fair. It's a celebration of culture, of innovation, and the power of African talent to shine on the world stage. Whether you're an art lover, a collector, or you're just curious, this is where imagination really meets opportunity. And today we're joined by the FNB Art Joburg Managing Director Mandla Sibeko to find out what this year's edition and why it's so special. Mandla, thank you so much for making time for us. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks so much, Clement. A lovely morning to you all.
18 years strong. What's been the secret behind FNB Art Joburg staying power?
Well, I think it's its Pan-Africanism approach, being in Johannesburg being such a very culturally orientated city. We don't have the beaches, so we have culture. And so it's really been amazing that when we started, exactly 18 years ago, there were 55 art fairs in the world. There are now 255. So we were the first on African soil to champion, to set up, and everybody else has followed. So Joburg people should be very proud of that effort. What's special about this year is really the coming together of over 14 African nations. These are amazing talents that are coming from different cities from all over the continent. These are the people who are really flying sort of the cultural flag in the various parts of the continent. So I know a lot of focus when it comes to Africa always tends to go towards politics, but there's so much culture that is taking place. So yeah, we're really excited to have this edition this year.
Yeah, and the nice thing about this is that, this FNB Art Joburg isn't just about, of course, buying art. It's about conversations as well. What are the conversations that you want us to explore this year, or that we'll be exploring through, of course, the creative work there?
Sure. Well, for about 5 years ago, we reimagined ourselves as a fair. That we didn't just want to be just another fair. We wanted to have a strong focus on education, but we also changed our model to become very highly subsidized with our sponsor from FNB, who's ultimately really funding a lot of the activities. But we have a very strong talks program inside the fair. We have different sections in the fair. There are about 7 different sections. So when you're there, you can actually meander your way around. There's an exciting section on photography called GIF. This year we'll be celebrating Santu Mofokeng. Santu Mofokeng was a famous South African photographer who put South Africa on the map in the world. So yeah, it is really more than just the buying of art. It's about education, but it's also about a source of inspiration and also just to pause and reimagine yourself as an individual walking through the fair. And in a time like this, where things are so complex, I think art really centers us back to the issues and to a sense of joy.
Yeah. How important is it for African artists to have access to global markets? And how does this fair help with that?
Well, when we started 18 years ago, there was no fair in Africa, first and foremost. So I'm the biggest champion that African artists must be celebrated and collected by Africans. They must be recognized at home, first and foremost. But at the same time, obviously receiving global attention. What happens in the world is that, you get like a temporary glaze, like there's a moment when there's an interest in Africa, then there's a moment in Asia, then there's a moment where they move to South America. So a lot of our artists are really doing amazing work globally. And we need to find ways of supporting them here and understanding what they are doing and really celebrate them and come through to those that have disposable income to really start buying what is coming out of South Africa and the continent.
Okay. And how do people participate? People want to come check out the FNB Joburg, FNB Art Joburg.
Yeah, they can purchase tickets on artjoburg.com through Tixa. We are opening this coming Friday, opening up on Friday. We will run through the weekend. We have an exciting program around the city, which is called Open City, which is over 50 plus activations of really run by independent cultural practitioners across Joburg. Okay. So there's a lot to do within the 16 days, even beyond the fair.
All right. Mandla Sibeko, thank you so much for speaking to us. FNB Art Joburg Managing Director. If you want to check out the FNB Art Joburg, go to artjoburg.com to get your tickets. And that's how we wrap up the Monday edition of 702 Breakfast. Thank you for listening. We'll be back tomorrow between 6 and 9. Have a beautiful day, my friends. Bye-bye.
This is EWN.
Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. The city of Johannesburg will soon launch phase 2 of the Lilian Ngoyi Street Rehabilitation Project as it reopens today. This comes more than 2 years after the street was damaged by an underground gas pipe explosion, leaving 1 person dead and more than 48 people injured. City officials have confirmed that the first phase, which involved repairs, has now been completed.